Okay. We are. So today is January 24th, 2021, and this is the Dolphin DNA Calibration Module 2 class. And we're so excited to be here. Everybody's coming into the room, and everyone's sharing how much they enjoy working with each other, doing the Dolphin processes. And I was just saying, it never ceases to amaze me how incredible this energy is. I don't want to say I like the dolphins better than the whales, but their energy is soft. But at the same time, it's so strong. You know, it's so lovingly will take over and show you a better way, so to speak. So I'm always telling people that, you know, I was a spiritual coach. Well, I guess I still am for a number of years, you know, had a lot of clients, and the healing was kind of on the side as I was learning about it. You know, I would find myself getting the healing clients after working with someone as their coach, right? And my coaching program was always about restoring your telepathy, getting to know your guides, being able to talk to animals. So I'm sort of a specialized coach, keeping people to get in their heart, basically, and activate the third eye. So, but when we started with Module 2, which came in strong after the white whales had worked with me for about 8 years, the dolphins would say, if you just please step aside, you know, we could show you something. So kind and so gentle. But, you know, because I was used to being the coach, you know, but they have better coaching abilities, you know, they're 30 million years of experience, you know, please step aside. But they have to have permission, you know, they have to ask you. So I was just thinking that this week I did a lot of layer 2 work with people who are enjoying it, you know, and I'm finding some of my regular clients who buy the packages that I sell like to be in layer 2 for, you know, a few weeks, really. And going, which you guys will see, we'll actually be doing that, I think, next week. Or maybe we're channeling next week. But anyway, you will be doing it. And they come in and they say, in a loving way, what you're saying is good. It's like they agree with you, but they want you to move over so they can bring in more. And they can always do it in a way where the person that's being coached can feel their emotional body in a bigger way. You know, so there's more tears, maybe more emotional feeling from the gut, but always in a gentle way so that the person can release, maybe once and for all, something that's plagued them for lifetimes, you know. So I just want to honor them. I've really been close with them this week, and love to hear, before we get into our meat and potatoes here, I'd love to hear some of your stories on what's happened and, you know, breakthroughs. Maybe even you've had either watching someone that you're, you know, that is your partner, or you receiving. I mean, I know that when we're giving, we receive as well. You know, stuff will come through that's powerful. So let's open up here to the gallery. Yeah. Just chat for a few minutes. So who has something to share? And not necessarily about what I just shared with the dolphins, but something about that's going on, or some profundity, some cool thing that happened, you know.
This is Jen Archibald. I was going to mention last time, I think at the end of Module 1, I really feel things in the back of my head.
Mm-hmm.
And on one side, I'm never quite sure whether those are things that want to come in that are getting blocked, or I'm just feeling the energy. But I feel it almost every session now.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I think it's a ching ching in the box when we can feel more of anything, because the feeling state is the creative force, right? It's the emotional body. And so whenever you can feel more, and especially when it's repeated, I get, for me, the more I'm present, the more I'm tuned in, the more I'm, you know, in the right place at the right time with the dolphins and whales, I get, it's like a wash, and it's all tingly. You know, it's like a wash as they wash over you or through you. It's almost like they put a cloak over you, and it's just tingly. And sometimes it's so tingly, I just, you know, you almost shake. It's just like, wow, that was cool. You know, do that again. So I think you can start to count on that. Maybe not exactly like me, but you can start to count on feeling their emotional responses as they encourage you, I guess you'd say. You know, or they go, that's it, you've got it. And they show you somehow in your body some kind of physical thing that you're on the right path. Yeah, that's a good share. Yeah. Anybody else? Cheryl, you're muted, honey.
There. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Last time you introduced the dolphins to us, and when you came to the dolphins in Bimini, the spotted ones, and you were talking about they're the friendliest dolphins on the planet, at least that's how I heard it.
Right.
Something inside of me jumped and sparked. And then you were talking about Atlantis, and I even got more of a feeling of something. Well, now within the last 2 weeks, my husband and I have been looking at Florida to move there, possibly to Fort Lauderdale, because it's the closest city to Bimini.
Yes.
And we're looking at houses that has a pool and a boat dock.
Yay! Lucky you, dear.
I was used to swimming with the dolphins in Hawaii, and I never opened my mind to anything else. But my mind opened up, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is where we're going to retire. We have no family ties, so we're free. And I'm just very emotional about that, because they really spoke to me. And I even had a friend yesterday say, when I did a session on you, I felt that you needed to be around the ocean, which I do, which I've been my whole life. And she said, I even see you doing some work with Atlantis or Lemuria. And I said, oh my God, I've never told anybody that. And you just hit it. And she said, when I did a session on you, that's what came up.
Wow.
So I'm beyond excited. I don't, and the dolphins said to me, you don't need a computer to go where we're taking you. Yay! So I'm just really excited.
I would be too. We're looking forward to getting your address so we can visit you.
Yes, I thought about that, and it's and when you go over there to take your do your seminars, I'm hoping that we'll have a boat to drive us over there.
Yay! Yeah, it's only 60 miles, so it's not a long trip. When you fly from Fort Lauderdale to Bimini, it's about 20 minutes. Really short.
Yeah, we just have to figure it all out.
Yeah.
But do you stay in a hotel over there?
Yeah, we do. It's the Seacrest Hotel. The man that owns the hotel also owns the boat. It's a package deal. And then he hires our chef. We have a private chef the whole time we're there. It's heaven. It's just heaven.
I'm ready for heaven.
Yeah. So my favorite things in the world is to go see them for a week. And now that I've done it for a number of years, I just, they're like family. And his assistant, Julie, is like, I don't know, from the moment we saw each other the first year, we knew, we had been, I don't know, star family or something, or in the same place at the same time for a lot of lives. We just started talking, and I know you've had that happen where you meet somebody and you just pick up where you left off last time.
Yeah.
She's like that. She's like a sister to me now, even though we don't see each other very often. We email and Facebook, and she's like, if there ever was a dolphin's best friend, it's Julie. I mean, she could get out on the front of the boat and call them in, and I mean, they just love her, like a sister, because she's there every day with them.
Well, the most surprising thing about this is, for years, I've had my focus on going back to the Big Island. I wouldn't see or hear anything else for years, literally maybe 30 years. And it wasn't until you mentioned the dolphins that, I opened up, my heart opened up, my mind opened up. And, you don't have control over those kind of things. They just kind of,
That's what we call guidance. You're being guided.
I see 1111 a lot.
Yeah.
Twice in one day sometimes.
Good.
So thank you very much.
You're welcome, and thanks for such a beautiful share. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm very grateful.
Okay.
Now do I have to go back to unmute? I guess.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Okay.
However,
Linda.
Cheryl, I just wanted to say how exciting. We applaud you. And my big question is, how many guest rooms are you going to have?
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's just great. And Laurie, my quick share is, you had mentioned during whale school that this work is also reusing. And I really like that term. And what I've been meaning, and what I've been meaning to tell you for months is, you played some of your videos of past trips of the whales. And I remember specifically somewhere in Hawaii, because I know you were a little, I recognize Hawaii, but you were also a little more tan. But you look, I think you look 10 years younger now than you did in the videos from a couple of years ago.
Wow, thank you. A lot of people are saying that. I mean, a lot of people are saying they're really, evident that you look a lot like younger than I am.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm seeing a big difference. And and last month,
for little things, I feel good,
Yeah, awesome. And last month, somebody thought I was 17 years younger than I am. So I'll take the reusing and stop admitting your real age. But anyway, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And as we explore the manual more, I mean, you're going to learn more about how they do it. It's through the telomeres. There's an enzyme that's it's called telomerase, and you may have even heard some of the scientists talk about it. Bruce Lipton talks about it. Greg Braden talks about it. We want to create that enzyme because it allows the telomeres to expand and to continue to grow. So guess what makes that happen? Guess what makes telomerase actually appear? Anybody know? Well, for one thing is dolphins, but the second thing is joy. Just, rocket fuel for the soul is joy. When you have joy and you have laughter and you have, happiness in your life, the enzyme appears. This is science now. And the enzyme is what causes your telomeres to expand. It's like the shoe, the laces on your shoes, when the little plastic thing at the end starts to wear off and then it falls off and then the what do you call it? The ties begin to fray, that's a little bit like what your DNA is like. So the little plastic thing at the end doesn't ever fall off. It just continues to extend when we have telomerase. So, I mean, it's just another validation, I guess you would say, of that we want to live happy lives that extend. I mean, people that have happy lives extend their life, unless, of course, there's a soul contract to leave and, to transition. Of course, that happens too. But for most of you, I think you want to stay and live a long and happy life and do a lot of things. It's a big deal. This is Puddah. It's a big deal for a human to reincarnate, more than you realize. I mean, there's a lot of complexities involved in selecting the parents, and the conception and, childhood and all of that. And in the timeline we're in now, they'd rather have everybody youth and stay in their body as opposed to be reborn. Different than the animals, of course. The animals could regenerate very quickly. So yeah, we should be committing to that, to the mantra Puddah always tells people is I choose life. To say it, maybe every day, even I choose life. And so spirit knows, everybody knows in free will zone, you're expressing your desire to stay. So in the midst of many, many people leaving, as we know too. And not that that's necessarily sad or bad. I mean, I honor anyone who chooses to go to the other side because it is the ultimate experience is to leave. But it's a pretty good deal while we're here. Might as well hang out and enjoy it as long as we can and be agents of service, to the greater good. So anyone else? Good shares. Jacqueline.
I wanted, I'm muted now. I wanted to share about a meditation I was given from the Golden Dolphin when you did the exercise last time.
Okay.
And I was doing the replay at home, and I stopped and I was taken into a lovely meditation, into a city of light with a golden waterfall with the dolphin. It was just exquisite, and connecting to a pod. Oh, I still think of it now. I was just crying with the joy of it and being with them. It felt so. Well, it felt like I was really there and in it. So I've submitted it as part of my assignment.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Wow. Well, the golden dolphin is very real in my world, as you know, and I actually believe that the soul of South is one of the aspects is the golden dolphin because Puddah uses it so often. Animals are comfortable with their other aspects. They know where they are and what they're doing, and they work together where humans are separated from your aspects for a reason. It's so you don't get confused, and that
Yeah.
you'll focus on this life. But once in a while, you'll get a glimpse of yourself doing something else, and it's very real. So
Yeah, it's lovely. Yeah.
yeah, awesome. Anyone else? All good? You ready to rock? Okay, I'm going to show you just a little bit of what's going on here. As I always like try to stay in touch with what's going, in spite of the virus, what's going out on the boats. Obviously, there's not nearly as many boats right now. Somebody's saying, Tina, sorry, let's look here. Tina needs the link. Okay, well, we'll see if we could do that. You guys got to take care of your links. Yeah, this is just this week.
Managing payroll is one of your most important responsibilities. We'll help guide you so you can implement.
Nice show, dude. You're great. I like
So again, these guys are heading down toward the lagoons in Baja. And nowadays, the lagoons in Baja, you can go out there.
Sweet little baby whale.
They stay there and feed the calves. And if you officially found out that if they splash the water next to their ponga boats, some of the female mothers would come over, bring their little calves over to the boat, nudge them over there so they can see them, and you can even touch them. They'll put their heads out of the water and look at you. It's really just an amazing experience. They've just gotten to trust the people down there now. After years, it used to be the opposite. When we were whalers, we'd go to those lagoons because we knew that was happening, and it would be a slaughter. So much different now. Over to our left, you see the little footprints. Going to be coming up at about our 11 o'clock. There it is. Wow, just a little. Looks like a little brown pickle. Yeah, so speaking of that, they're not named gray whales because of the color gray. They're not gray, as you can see, especially that little one's brown.
You want to come in and take our spot? Okay, sounds good. Okay, then the other one real shallow right now. Okay. This doesn't get much better than this. Most of them get so protected they don't show their calf like this. This is amazing. Yeah. That's one brave mama. We hope this little guy makes it. Thanks, Gary.
Isn't that sweet? You don't very often get to see that the gray whales like that. They migrate from the Arctic Circle down to Baja, Mexico, to mate and birth each year. They have the longest migration, which is somewhere between 10 and 12,000 miles, depending on which lagoon they go to. And for a few years, we've gone every year to see them. And these are the ones, they're called the friendliest whales in the world because they bring their babies in when they're in the lagoons down there, right up to the boat and open up, so you can really pet them and kiss them. And I can remember putting my hand in the mouth of one of the moms and rubbing her tongue, and she just loved that. And she made these noises, so sweet. These little babies come up to the boat. And I'm not going this year, obviously, because of the virus. It's hard to travel, but probably next year we'll go. And such a special thing to put on your bucket list. And we go out with these vans from one of the Mexico companies, Coima. I actually go out with the group that first started them. But the story goes is that they were, mutilated or harpooned almost into extinction not that many years ago. And this is the same place where we go now, and they bring their babies to the boats. So I always say the gray whales are the epitome of forgiveness, because what human would do that? Go back to the people that murdered their family. Here's my baby. What do you think? Amazing level of forgiveness and love that they have for us. So most of you, I think all of you have seen the YouTube that I prepared a number of years ago. It's called The Gray Whales on Forgiveness. That's on our YouTube site. It's well worth visiting again. The message that they gave is so much from the higher realms, on forgiveness and how we're to stay focused in the now. So anyway, they're migrating past my house right now, going down south. So it's pretty cool. Thought I'd share that with you. Okay, are we recording? And I guess Tina's with us now. That's good. So let's just go into our hearts now and really open up to that beautiful love we just saw for yourself and for all others. And we open now to the flowing love of source energy. We open to our connection to Mother, Father, God, and to the gratitude that we feel for the opportunity to be human right now, and to have a purpose, to be able to tap into the consciousness of the great cetacean nations and bring that energy to other people and to ourselves, and know that we're in the presence of incredible wise masters of love and light. So we ask for their presence now as we call them in. We begin by grounding down into the earth, and let's call in those gray whales to be a part of your grid that's, around your home now. Beautiful. And let's call in Archangel Shamuel also to hold center below. And let's rise up now, bringing that love up into our hearts. And of course, we're seeking the energy of 0 point, unity balance. And we rise up to the energy that's above our home now, where we set an equal and opposite distance for the grid. And let's call in the white whales and beautiful Jophiel. And start to receive the energy now of the sun down into your body as we connect with our prime creator. And now let's turn to the directions. We'll honor, for me, I have archangels stationed and also dolphins and whales. So to the south, Archangel Uriel, pilot whales and orca whales. Thank you for being here. The south is open. Aho. To the west, Archangel Gabriel is present here to assist us in our communications, to hold the presence of his beautiful light. And now we'll bring in all of the dolphins that want to come in, the dolphins from all over the world, the different species of dolphins, spirit dolphins, star dolphins, and of course, the Ascended Council. Thank you so much. You're all welcome here. The west is open. Aho. And turning to the north, we welcome, of course, Archangel Michael, who's holding the column of light. And our big mother blue whale, the largest creature on the planet. And the thing that she can help you with is anxiety, any kind of a nervous situation that you might have, just coming into calm, peaceful awareness of who you are and gratitude. The north is open. Aho. To the east now, beautiful Archangel Raphael. Mother Mary is here. Kuan Yin. Master Jesus. So many Arcturians, beautiful beings of the Sananda Oversoul. And now Bella and Humphrey coming in, bringing the violet flame. The East is open to all those beautiful healers. And now see yourself in the four-sided, beautiful prismatic pyramid. And now set it below, as above, so below, till you have created the octahedron and refreshed it. And come into the center now of that potential that you have for 0-point energy. Unification, stepping into triangulation out of duality, to that perfect stillness where all experiences are born. And in this place, we can acknowledge that. And we can see and feel manifestation at its core level. And we understand now the holographic nature of negativity, and we step aside and say, no, thank you. Back into the wholeness of who you are. Tapping into your own mastery, your star family, and your deep communication now and relationships that you're forming with these great whales and dolphins. Our sacred space is open. Nice, everyone. Okay, we're going to start as we do with the manual. Let's go to page 23. Ascension pathways. What is ascension? In 2010, Master Puddah, South, asked me to create a film about ascension and to allow her and the whales and dolphins to write the script. I agreed, and she gave me the template for ascension in her own words. And I can still see it. It was an afternoon when friends were here. Actually, people were helping me move into this house. And she said, you need to go in the bedroom and close the door. And I'm going to give you this, this template, which will be chapter 1 of the film. And there are the words. You're welcome to read them and meditate with them and use them. But I'm going to actually show you the film. It's more fun to hear her speak them when we're actually looking at the film. So.
What is ascension? Personal ascension is the unified presence of one being. Ascension is to hold and embody the highest potential for an incarnated being in full representation of the soul. Ascension is a collective field of expanded illumination, intuition, and acceptance within the self. Ascension is a shift into a higher state of consciousness bestowed upon you by your higher self when you are ready. Ascension is remembrance of the origin of my creation and to know who I really am. Ascension is to become my divine I am presence. Ascension is to know oneself as infinite love, wisdom, and power. Ascension is merger of the highest vibration with my true multidimensional divine presence. Ascension is beyond faith. It is knowing and being oneself as Creator Source.
So that's the first chapter of the film. Some beautiful footage of my friends, swimming with the whales at Tonga and the beautiful Hawaiian dolphins there. So that's all of page 23. So I don't see now to read it since you've experienced it in that way. And I think everybody knows that if you don't have a copy of the film, it's free. Just let me know and I'll send it to you. But that's chapter 1. So. Okay, so let's go now to the activation of the third eye. This is an ongoing process. It doesn't happen in one day. It's not like, you find the switch, you turn the light on, and then it's working. You might experience it in that way, but after that, it continues to grow and expand. And I think the way the third eye grows and works with you is a little bit like Master Puddah shows me, you learning to run a marathon. And the more you can run and find, that peaceful place, runners say they find, I'm not a runner, but they go into this peaceful place, the more your third eye expands. And so I'm not saying running expands your third eye, even though it probably does. I'm saying anything that you choose to do that's of a spiritual nature or a healthy nature will connect to the third eye, especially with intention. Okay, and so that's definitely a part of channeling dolphins and whales, and it gets easier as the third eye becomes more proficient, it grows, and that you connect to it. There's a magnetism to it, and I don't think you probably ever get to a point where you can say, at least in human form, my third eye is completely activated. It's as good as it's going to get, because that would mean you had fully activated your sight, your clairaudience, your clairsentience, your claircognizance, and you would be in the avatar, the state of the avatar, with probably all 12 strands of DNA activated. So we're not there yet, but we're getting there. So I like to think of it as a work in progress. So activation of your third eye. The pineal gland is located in the center of your head. It is actually an eyeball, and that is why it is referred to as the third eye. It's hollow, like an eye, and has color receptors within it. In its natural state, it's looking upward, right up through the crown chakra. The pineal has its own chakra and is connected to and communicates to both the brain and the heart. So the pineal gland, or third eye, is the biological organ that Source has given each human to communicate with spirit. So what I'm trying to say is that the physical organ that we call the third eye, the pineal, corresponds directly to your consciousness and your ability to communicate, or your wanting your ability to expand and communicate. So I'm always telling my third eye, more is better, and that then corresponds with, because I'm telepathic, with the energy of when I ask questions, and I ask a lot of questions. The information that comes through when I ask questions is appropriate for me to know right now. It's not appropriate for me to ask, and I found that over and over, to ask questions that would confuse me, to have too much information before I have a foundation for it. So that's something to keep in mind. If you don't get an answer to your questions, it's probably because, again, there would be some confusion in you getting that information, and then that might actually cause you to go backwards in your spiritual knowingness as opposed to forward. So think about that too, and be okay, be neutral when you find you're asking for information that it's not time for you to have it yet. I just experienced that in a couple of weeks ago with Jennifer McLean's, one of my producers, and she'd asked me to be on her Predictions Week show. I don't know if some of you saw it. That's a big show. I think we had 60,000 people watching or something. And here we're supposed to give predictions for the coming year. So I pretty much decided I didn't want to even try to enter into that realm. So I let the whole show be taken over by Seth and by the whales, who had things to say about the the coming year and so forth, the coming decade, some prophecies. And that show, I think it's on my website. No, it's not Puddah saying. It's but it is available if you want to hear it. It's free on Jennifer's site, so everyone can hear it. But anyway, the point is, the question to me, to put a show like that together and put it out to the people, a little bit to me, is Laurie, inappropriate, because I feel that I get the information I need every day, or every week anyway, to go forward in my life. And if I don't, then I meditate until I get a little bit more. So I feel like I'm satiated for that moment. So I don't know if you even agree with me, but what I'm saying is the third eye allows me to come to a place where I don't always feel needy for the information, because I used to feel that way. I used to feel like I'll never catch up, I'll never get enough, and now I feel like, for the most part, absolutely don't know it all, but I know enough today to create a happy life and to help others. Does that make sense? I feel more connected to where I'm at with the information that's flowing. This comes from your connection to the third eye and the heart. And that's why I'm making a point about it. If you're frustrated with your ability to see, hear, and feel, the reason you're frustrated, it isn't really about that. It's about something else that's holding you back. Probably your fear of really being bright and shiny. And, I think it was Marianne Williamson said, the only thing we're really afraid of is our own light. Because when we bring it in magnitudes, it brings in a lot of responsibility. So I can relate to that. You probably can too. So, but there's never been a more important subject to talk about than for me, because this is the key. When you can bring your heart energy and connect it to the third eye and start to understand the complexities and the information and the love, you're going to be great. You're going to be just super great. So, okay. So now I guess we should read what I wrote, huh? It is the biological organ that Source has given each human to communicate with spirit. It allows for that which is known as telepathic communication, intuition, clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience to become activated and useful. Your pineal gland is your own personal stargate and is a crystalline organ. When activated, one can be initiated into the higher realms of vision, of communication, and channeling. I cannot underestimate the importance of working each day with your pineal gland. Use light and love in your meditations and quiet time to energize it and allow it to grow and expand your consciousness. When the heart and the pineal are connected, anything is possible in my world. Your attention to your third eye is very important in your work with the cetaceans. The whales encourage us to attune the prana flow in your daily unity breath to further connect the heart and the third eye. It is important to work in meditation with a blindfold and in a darkened room. Shutting out all visible light has proven to accelerate your third eye's development, and further enhance your intuitive gifts. Use your intention to get comfortable rotating the third eye forward while blindfolded and focusing your inner sight. The process of moving the third eye forward with focus and intention will further activate your abilities to channel the whales and dolphins. In its natural state, it is looking upward. So you will want to get comfortable using your inner sight and moving the third eye into a forward position. So also note that our environment and your food may have contributed to the calcification of your third eye and stunted its growth. So it's always best, of course, to eat organic foods and bless your food and of course, the water before eating. We have found that drinking blessed Andara water or other crystallized water can greatly assist in continuing to develop your pineal. So we have, I think I've told you, it's a blessing bowl on our counter when you walk into our house, into the kitchen area. And it's got about 5 or 6 Andaras, and we fill it with purified water every day or every other day. And we all drink out of it. Of course, I don't mind drinking the water that cats drink. Some people don't, but we all share it. And when clients come, I offer it to them, a little cup, as part of our ceremony or our personal client session. And then I put little Andaras in the water bottle, that if I go out of the house. And we've got water in the bedroom with a food area for the cats. And I've got 1 Andara in there for the cats. Our other cat, Sammy, likes. So I'm pretty much always drinking Andara water. And I just want you to know it's powerful. It raises your vibration. It's soft. You put the Andara in the water, I don't know, it tastes soft even. So something to think about. Other suggestions: mix a small amount of organic sulfur in your water each day. Start with a half a teaspoon and gradually increase. Organicsulfur.com. This is proven to further activate and decalcify the pineal. We also recommend taking small amounts of monatomic ash daily with powdered NDARs. Okay, and that in my world isn't available right now, so I won't talk about it until I can get some that I could get to you guys. But since I wrote this manual, I now am a part of the company called Pure, P-U-R-E, People United, Reaching Everyone, it's called. It's a wonderful company, lots of beautiful dietary supplements and things. And I get organic sulfur capsules now. So I don't have to measure out and mix it. And so, and I don't necessarily like the taste of organic sulfur, so this is nice. So I don't have to taste it, but I'm taking 3, I mix up my vitamin. I think I'm taking 3 capsules a day now. But I've had lots of people say that their third eye really noticeably activated when they started taking organic sulfur. So who knows, it could be a right mix for you. I would muscle test though. Everybody know how to muscle test using a pendulum or another modality to make sure that it's the right, whatever. Okay, good. Because what's right for one may not be right for another, but I really enjoy
Laurie,
yeah.
what was for buying the sulfur?
The company that I'm a part of now is called Pure. Here, let me open up the chat room and I'll type in the
Thank you.
Address. Let me grab it here. I also take their vitamins and their daily cleanse and other things, and I'm happy to talk to you about that. If you get a hold of me, I'll tell you what products I really like, and I'm a you call it a affiliate with the company. That's how much I like it. Okay, so you go to
So we give you credit if we buy from you, right?
Yeah, you do. I actually get credit. Thank you for bringing that up. It's a nice little perk.
And do they ship?
And you have the opportunity to join the company as well, to get better prices.
Do they ship internationally, like
They
Canada?
do. They do. That's one of the fastest growing companies too. So let's see if I got it right. livepure.com. Yep. So check that out.
So we could sign up to be distributors underneath you?
You can. Or you can just be a customer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Laurie. Would you be able to go over the muscle testing just so that I could get a better idea of how to do it?
Yeah. Yeah. I got a little tap on my shoulder from my guides when I said muscle testing, and I forget that, that might be a good thing to go over more than once. Okay.
Thank you.
So I always have a pendulum nearby, and it's not so much that I need it, it's that I like to, for me, it's almost like when I open up to ask a question of spirit or my guides, there's a lot of information coming in various streams. Sometimes there'll be a whale or a dolphin. There's always Puddah talking. There's usually one of my guides talking. So I use a pendulum to fine tune kind of like the brightest path that I could look at right now, because I can't talk to everybody all the time, right? So I say, or I'll ask just Seth, because Seth is also in the form of Puddah, but is also a guide for me. So I'll say to Seth, can everybody step back, please? And what do you think, Seth? Or I'll ask my higher self, often it's really good to connect with your soul. So this is one of a new pendulum. I got it for my birthday. It's a lot of different types of pendulums. I have some copper ones. You can even use a keychain or a necklace. So whatever you use, bless it. Even if it's been in your blessed home. I mean, when I pick this up, I can almost feel it with other energies that are not, so cool. So I hold it to my heart and I say, this pendulum is love, it's blessed with source energy to be an oracle, of truth. And then, it shifts. I can feel it shift. So for me, when I was teaching someone new, I would say, show me yes. And the thing with muscle testing is you have to have no opinion. You have to be completely neutral. You can't think you know the answer. If you think you know the answer, the pendulum will give you that answer, not necessarily the truth. So, okay. So is my name Laurie Reyon? See it start to circle. So for me, a clockwise circle is yes. That may not be for you. Yours might be a different one. You know, let your pendulum tell you what your yes is. Okay. So is my name Michael Thomas? And there's my no. It's just back and forth. Okay. Show me uncertain or maybe. And now it goes counterclockwise. So when I'm asking a question that's inappropriate, or they're just not going to give me an answer for whatever reason, then it goes that way. Okay, so I have a yes, a no, and a maybe, uncertain. And that's enough for me. I mean, other people use it. I have some friends that do readings with pendulums, and they're really advanced in their ability to get all kinds of answers this way. So I respect it, but I would always test a new supplement before I took it, you know, a vitamin, a new kind of food. And when I'm planning things, like let's say a trip, or I'm planning some new classes, I'll kind of set everything up with my guides and my higher self, and then I'll go back through everything and muscle test, and I step back because I'm not really in a position anymore to be attached to, like, we have to do that class, you know, on November 10th. I really want to do it on November. I'm not like that anymore. I don't really care when we do it, just as long as, you know, we find the right way. Because your guides that would influence this can see the overview. You know, they can see the overview to help you fine tune the answers that will come to you for your questions. So, but again, if you think you know the answer and you're going, is it okay for me to go have vanilla ice cream right now? Is that a good idea? You really think it's okay to go have vanilla ice cream? The pendulum's going to say, sure, go get vanilla ice cream. So you have to step back. It's like the forest from the trees, you know. You have to be neutral to really get authentic answers. Okay, I hope that helps. Anybody else? Or was that sufficient? I'm talking about muscle testing, so go ahead and comment. Or maybe you know
Yes,
something that you want to
That was great. Thank you so much.
Okay, good. Yay. Okay, so there's the lift here. All right, so let's have a reader.
Laurie, I think a lot of people didn't realize you were back in module 1 where you were reading.
Am I in module 1?
Yes.
Oh my God. Talk about a space cadet. Thank you for telling me. Talk about not knowing your stuff. No, we're supposed to be in module 2, dears. I'm kind of embarrassed, but I guess we needed to maybe see the ascension thing again, huh? I don't know. Did you enjoy it? I did. Okay, yeah. Dear, dear, dear. Well, this is a first. I've never had that happen where the teacher goes into the wrong book. Must be a reason. Okay, does anybody know, without me being more embarrassed, what page we're on?
17, I believe. We finished.
Yes, and I made a mark there. Planetary purification. Yay. Okay, well, we must have been supposed to, you know, obviously revisit our pineal glands. Okay, so let's have a volunteer reader to read planetary purification. Anybody? Laurie?
Yes, and you needed to do it for me.
I
They've
did?
been really talking to me about my pineal.
Oh, I'm glad you're not upset that I'm that space.
I was hoping you.
Okay, I'm doing a double grounding now as we start here.
Okay, planetary purification message from the Pleiadian Council of Light. Dear human children of the light, you are now in the presence of a purification of your planet. For some, it is challenging to understand what you are witnessing and will witness. Do not try to comprehend what is at hand from the human mind, as the changes we speak of are those of the heart and are inevitable. Many major energetic changes are happening and approaching in relationship to beautiful Gaia. The old ways must fall away that are not in alignment with truth and integrity. New thought processes are appearing that are originating from your hearts, bringing a new alignment of heart codes that will align each of you with your truth and the ultimate truth of the new earth. The destruction of the old is inevitable and must be embraced. Resistance to the necessary changes will only prolong the challenges, as all that is not of the light must be exposed, destroyed, and transmuted. The truth will be known as you awaken to your true creatorship. Each of you are magnificent beings, capable of creating worlds and realities beyond your current state of consciousness. We ask you now to allow your awakening to quicken and come into your world without fear, embracing your own heart codes. This is personal and this is planetary. Each must find their way now as they walk through the challenges, holding the light, knowing inside that you are your own best healer. You are your own best teacher. As you allow your heart to open, you will know what is best for you and where you are to be, and even what is best for you to do. This is the time you have waited for, and you are one of the ones the world has been waiting for. Do not discount your own personal power now as it rises with the earth herself. You are in one of the most powerful portals of purification your planet has experienced. Embrace the purification process that is well underway and will result in changes in every single person's life. It is up to you as to how you react or remain neutral during the movement of the energies of change. As the portals on your planet open, the energy will rise to a central point in the middle of the earth. The axis wobble will be changed a few degrees, and many events of nature will occur. A massive cleansing process by Gaia and the elementals is already taking place. During this process, many ancient portal systems within the earth will activate and significantly release the knowledge that has lain dormant for eons. Be prepared to hear your scientists say they have found proof regarding that your star brothers and sisters have been sharing for many years. More and more, you will hear reports of the new findings within your scientific community that will support these messages. The energy that is erupting up into the world now is coming from your own Gaia. What you are experiencing with this wave is a major pruning, sweeping of your earth, energetically, physically, and mentally. It involves the cleansing of deep karma that must be cleansed before Gaia can fully make her transition into the light. Please understand that the changes that are impacting your planet are the changes that have been set into motion many years ago. This is necessary to move your world closer to truth and unification. This is going to allow more and more of you to begin to awaken to your true magnificent selves, awaken to your hearts, and to remember the true reason that you are all now here. You are here now to awaken to your creativity, to awaken to your individuality, and to the oneness of all of creation. Think of yourself as a piece of the puzzle of life. The puzzle will not be complete until each piece is put into its perfect and right place. Each piece is a part of the whole, separate and unique, but yet united in the part that they play as their own piece of the all that is. When each piece is united, the whole will flow in color, harmony, musical tones, and direction. And then love, light, and understanding will flow among you. That is not to say that you must give anything up. There is sense of self that is now available for you to claim, while knowing you are completely loved and supported as part of the whole. You came to Earth to be a unique and sovereign being, but you also came to put your piece into the puzzle and share your love and special gifts. Now is truly the time to be bold and confident as you focus your energy on claiming your own truth and the many gifts that are a part of you. Now more than ever is the time for each of you to accept the different vibrational frequencies of each other, embracing your differences through forgiveness and acceptance of yourself and each other. This unison will lead you to make new choices outside of war and poverty. Here you will find freedom from lack and dis-ease. Once you are in tune with your own selves, you will find alignment with your own creative force. Your activated hearts will be the place you want to live and create your lives from. Then the puzzle we speak of will create unity among you and Earth, and the humans upon her can finally join the Interplanetary Federation of Light. We are always with you, but today we speak out and ask you to begin to be the stewards of your own vibration. Vibration is everything, and you are the creator of yours. Hear our call, dear ones. Hear our message of love and empowerment. You are to look within and forgive yourselves and everyone around you. Use this great power of love that is given and cleanse yourself and your homes with the violet flame. Be the change you want to see in the world and stop trying to change everyone else. The changes you seek must occur and live within you. And now to the message from Gaia. Did you know that you are one that has asked to be alive on Earth right now to activate the grids, to work with the portal systems, and to be called to active duty during this time of ascension? Care for yourselves well and nurture your physical bodies. Be prepared to listen to the sounds and messages that are coming to you. Allow yourself to feel the physical changes that are occurring because your physical body is under tremendous change. Today is not like yesterday, and you are to become the stewards of your changing vehicles. So today, as we are gathered as a force of light, understand that these changes we speak of are suggested to help you in your preparation. Humans, you are called to duty. You are called to use your power and consciousness to raise your personal vibration and to offer it to your Earth Mother to assist her in her cleansing and ascension. You will be called into duty many times, each time to activate the changing grid systems and to put your light and love into the waters. In doing so, you are a way shower for other humans who are just now awakening to their true life purpose. Choose, beloved ones, to be a part of the process of understanding and becoming an activated messenger of light. As you do so, you will move more easily between the dimensions and gain an understanding of what it means to be a multi-dimensional being of love. We love you. We are with you. We serve Earth and humanity through the vibration of love. Please know that each of you is dearly loved. We are representatives of the Pleiadian High Council of Light.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I'd forgotten how nice that message is. It's just so uplifting. So comments on your relationship with the Pleiadians, or comments on, comments or even questions about them. They are our brothers and sisters of light. They occupy the fifth dimension in their star system, which is often called the Seven Sisters. Alice Cohen, when we speak of the great central sun, that is their sun. Anybody?
Yeah, they're talking to me big right now.
Good.
And bringing in others that I need to talk to, and in preparing me for my mission as we move forward. And yeah, they're great life coaches as well.
They are.
They have schooled me in many things, and I'm staying in my resonance and, not staying out of judgment,
Yes.
I judge when I see people wearing their masks. I'm like, why are they wearing their mask when there's nobody around? They're in fresh air, and they're like, you stay in your resonance, they're in their resonance, Yeah. And yeah, lots of coaching lately.
Well, they're good at helping you with your trigger points, whatever they are for all of us. The mask has certainly been a trigger point for many people. I was with a really good friend who's so evolved. And she was working on me. That was this Friday night. And she's just like, I'm just getting over now my anger about the masks. I went to Walmart and they told me I had to have a mask to come in. And she said, it just made me so mad I had to go sit in the car. And then she said, I realize how silly that is now. But, it's a big deal, It is a big deal. And it points the finger of fear right in your face. So you get to decide how you want to deal with fear, or not deal with it. Puddah saying that if you haven't met the emissary, Pleiadian emissary, Sanjas. He's been a part of a lot of our classes that we do, and he stops by. He's been on Earth for some time now as a Pleiadian emissary, and he's so friendly and loving. So he's a good one to call on. Or just if you want to meet them, you want to talk to them, you want to dream with them, maybe you want to visit one of the stars. They're pretty Johnny on the spot. They'll come, if you ask them to, and see you and visit with you and help you get over your fears, right? Of what the next level of our existence is going to be. So, anybody else? Laura.
I have a question.
Sure.
Just because I don't really know anything about any of the extraterrestrial beings, like it's nothing I have explored before, so it's only all of the information that you've given. So is it something that I need to look into, or?
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is I don't believe in the word need, because we have source energy in our lives, and source energy brings us everything we need in combination with Mother Earth. So Seth would say to you, please remove the word need from your vocabulary, because it implies that you're not given what you need.
Yeah.
Okay. So say something to the effect maybe of, is it for my highest and best good now to reach out and connect to the Pleiadians, our brothers and sisters of light and love? Try that and see what your heart tells you. It's certainly not required. I mean, can you live your whole life and never have extraterrestrial contact? Probably. I don't actually know that. It didn't work for me, though. They came to me. I don't remember. Maybe I asked for them in my higher self, but I've been in contact with lots of benevolent races since. I mean, when I first made contact with me, I didn't even know who they were. I didn't know what their names were or anything. Trying to think when it first happened. I think 1999. A long time. And I just went. I told you guys I went back to Baja, Mexico for a week during New Year's, and it's one of the great places to make contact because there's no military to get in the way. There's no, it's not highly populated. San Diego, if you go out to the beach here in San Diego and you ask to see your friends, in their life bodies or their ships, a lot of other people will be witnessing it as well, which may alter their consciousness. So they're pretty respectful of that. They don't give you the same show in the US that they give me in Mexico or in Bimini. Bimini is a great place. Hawaii is a great place. They don't hold back in Hawaii. They just come in force. I think one night we were out with those just regular binoculars, and then one of my friends had military grade binoculars, and you could actually see the Merkaba. You could see it around, where normally I just look at the lights. It was great. I was just laughing with delight. I could actually see the starship, so it's pretty great. So none of this is required, I don't think. I don't know. What are you guys' opinion? Do you feel that those that have made contact, do you feel it's enhanced your life? Anybody? Guess not.
Laurie.
Yeah.
This is Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
I work with Dr. Amber Wolf, as one of the Lemurian Sisterhood Sacred Circle hosts. And so the connection there with the ones she calls the Star Mothers have been, very, very special contacts. The Star Mothers and even the grandmothers have felt, very close since getting involved with that. So, yeah, it's been beautiful and
a higher expression of light, don't you think?
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. For you guys that don't know, Amber Wolf is associated with Cryon too. Like Carol, and does a lot of different workshops, things with Cryon. Anybody else? Okay. Well, okay, Claude.
Yeah, many years ago, I was in front of my computer and I was curious in a right way to find a message from Andromeda. I was, intrigued by Andromeda and couldn't find it. nowhere I couldn't find it on my computer. So then I sat down and I was reading something else, but no more in front of my computer. And then suddenly an Andromedan guy, I don't know, person came 2 meters away from me. And I felt the energy, and it stays all night long. It was blissed, the bliss and bliss and bliss, and I was completely gone. And it was an answer to my prayer, you know.
Right.
But
Well,
it was not a message, but it was the love, you know.
Right.
That,
Right.
yeah.
I think it's interesting too that you're saying that you asked for this. You know, you prayed for it, and then it came true. You know, so that's a huge part of what we're talking about here is that your intention. No one is going to come. That's I would say from the extraterrestrial realms or the angelic realms or any of that to frighten you. They would never come to hurt you. It's always about love. It's always about assisting you in some way and bringing you more peace and the energy of knowing that you're loved and supported in your life, you know. So thanks, Claude. Yeah. Andromeda is in the world, you know, that we work with is seventh dimension. And it's a beautiful realm of sound, actually. You know, it's beautiful. Sound healing. Does anybody know the work of Jonathan Goldman? Yeah, he's Andromeda and he does incredible work with sound. And I just love his work. So I have some of his meditations too that we use sometimes in the whale healing classes. So in meditations, he's very advanced being. So anybody else before we go on? It's interesting. Oh, okay. Cheryl.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity for me to share my story about my connections with the Pleiadians, because, you know, I haven't talked to very many people about it.
Yeah, well, everybody isn't open to it. Yeah.
Well, about 40 years ago, I met with a group of Pleiadians. It's a long story, but I'll make it short. And when I was in the kitchen with two women, now at this particular time, I was a student at Cal State Fullerton in the psych department. And I was waiting to go to the University of Hawaii. So that's a little bit of background. But these two women looked at my hands and they kept looking at my hands and turning them over. And they said, "Look at her hands." And I thought, well, it's because I used to play the piano and I type very, very fast. I didn't think anything of it. Long story short, it changed my life. Once I got to Hawaii, and that was a process of going through different groups, silver mind control, and I didn't finish going to Cal State Fullerton. They sent the wrong transcripts to the University of Hawaii. And I was led to the kahunas in Hawaii. And I studied Hawaiian Lomi Lomi massage for years with the kahunas. And that was 40 years ago. They completely changed my life.
Wow.
And so, and now I'm pretty much retired from that and just coming into this work with, you know, more of the higher vibrations, more communication with them, and more an understanding that that was real. That really changed my life. And so I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah. Everything that I've discovered in the many years of going to Hawaii and living there for, you know, sometimes months at a time is it's so open. It's a place where you can really be authentic and you don't have to hold back or censor
Right.
conversations with people. And almost everybody there has grown up looking at the stars in the sense of seeing, you know, benevolent life, where they wouldn't say, oh, that's probably military or whatever. I mean, people are pretty open there. I think
Right.
that allows them to be free and easy too.
Yeah. And most people who are into massage or any kind of hands-on, they don't last a long time, you know, because it wears on the hands. And I've been involved in it for 42 years.
Wow.
I know. And I'm a little, you know, it's taken its toll on my body, but, you know, I'm so grateful. I had such a wonderful life with the career that I had, the profession I had, the healing that came through me. And I'm just so grateful. You know, I just
feel that. I love your stories too, by the way. It's so nice of you to share. You know,
yeah,
I think it makes the class better when we can share, you know.
Yeah. I wanted to say something about Melinda, just real quick.
Sure.
Because I noticed a difference in our last class, how much light is in her body. Melinda, are you there?
She's there.
And she, you know, we had a break there for a couple months.
Right.
And then when I saw her, it's like, oh my gosh, she's been riding her Merkaba body vehicle for a lot.
Yeah.
No, but I could definitely see a difference. Big difference.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
lots of light.
Well,
in
it's
that.
nice when other people can see, you know,
Yeah.
progression, you know, in the work we're doing as it reflects.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to being completely restored with, you know, no blood sugar issues and no back pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good luck. Journey with that.
That's right.
I know. You need to get some more. So thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to say to Laura to look back at her childhood that they might have. Like, I know I used to have light beings come into my bedroom when I was a little girl, and they were the Pleiadians. I always thought it was my imagination because I was a very imaginative little kid. I saw all kinds of things. And but then it happened again when I started kind of waking up. I realized, oh, those were probably real. And then I did have one come visit me when I was probably in my 50s, maybe. And I already shared that story, how it came into my room and we just took off and went.
Right.
I knew who they were. I said, yep, I'm ready. You know, we just telepathically communicated and boom, we were gone. But so yeah, so maybe you have had contact and you just don't realize it yet.
Right. I'm gonna jump in here and say probably almost every child, maybe 6 or 7 and under, has had some kind of connection with an angel or a benevolent extraterrestrial being because they're very open. You know, they don't have all the fear that adults have. And I think it's good, you know, when they feel that support from the other beings that are in their lives that are not, you know, physical like we are. That's good. In fact, let's talk about it. Let's have a reader for 20. Who wants to volunteer?
Can I read? Reina?
Yeah. Hi, Reina. Yes, absolutely.
Hey. Is that for the dolphins and star children?
Yes.
That's lovely. I was just having a talk with a pregnant girl that she's expecting a baby girl, and I felt so much like dolphin energy coming from her. I was like, you're making me happy already, you know? So
the baby's waiting to be born, you know?
Yeah, she's excited. She's ready for that. Awesome. So thanks for the honor to read that. The dolphins teach us that during the time of great transition, many new arrivals of star beings are arriving in the next few ways as star children. These new children have been called the rainbow or crystal children. They're pure souls, very innocent to the workings of the polarized planet in duality. Many of them are arriving with their memories intact. They will not need to go to school to learn the basics. They will simply download math, science, psychics, language, and so much more. The dolphins are asking that we as adults recognize them and encourage them on their path. They will need assistance to fully embrace their gifts and grow up to be adults that can maintain their purity and peaceful ways. They will not fight as their DNA is more fully calibrated to the new earth than most others. They're the way showers and are to be nurtured and taken to places of nature. They will need quiet alone time to communicate with their guides and angels. One of the most important things we can do is to get them together with other star children, regardless of their ages. They will recognize each other and encourage each other to step up to use their gifts. They already have a high degree of consciousness within them and are ready to embrace their empowerment. The dolphins are issuing a challenge to the adults. We must bring these souls to the dolphins so they can interact. The dolphins will further activate their mastery and further recalibrate their DNA. We are also to find ways to assist them in their creative expression through helping create camps, new school programs, classes, books, and magazines. Everyone can help nurture this advanced souls and welcome them to the earth. Note, I have helped to create a nonprofit corporation, California 500, where the donated funds go to give free seats to children and teens to go out on boats and see the wild and free dolphins. We can always use your help. Thank you. See dolphinslovekids.org for more information. Laurie, Reyon.
So I've had this corporation, well, I had it for a couple of years even before we decided to incorporate, where it's just very clear. I mean, I dreamed it, I saw it, I felt it. The dolphins, I was going out all the time, mostly with families and adults to see the dolphins and whales. If I've shown you all the YouTubes, out of Dana Point. And I just clearly heard the dolphins say, we really need to have you focus on the children. And for most of I spent about 20 years of my life, as a teacher for, all ages, but the focus for a dance school, I think mostly is always children. So that's what I did. And I just got that the kids need that, here I use that word again, need. The kids would benefit from physical time with the dolphins, because the dolphins would use their advanced abilities to connect to the children, to in some way change their DNA, I guess you would say, to open them to who they are, to their own unique special gifts, and also to do some healing for them. So I immediately accepted, and I just got friends together in the beginning with their kids and grandkids. And, we just raised the funds on our own to take the kids out and experimented with the whole focus of the trip now being on the children. And so what I learned to do basically was get out all the kids in a group in the beginning and the parents kind of on the outside. And I just tell them, I'm an animal communicator. I've been talking to animals since I was a child. What I've discovered is the animals on our planet know pretty much everything. They're very smart, and they are here in service to us while we sort of grow up and wake up, right? And so you can actually ask them questions, or you can just say to them, what would you share with me? All of that. And of course, they'll communicate with you. So, and kids, are very open to communication with animals. They haven't blocked it yet, that gift that we all have. And so I will tell them, this is a couple of different processes. One of them is I have them touch their heart, then touch up here. And I say that this is called the third eye. And there's an organ here that's right between the two halves of your brain that allows you to talk to animals. And so we focus that forward into the water, into where the dolphins are. And then we just come back to our hearts and we say, please communicate with me. So they start to learn just a simple process of triangulation. And when we get out, and I say, when we get off the boat, I'm going to ask you what the dolphins had to say to you. What did they share with you? And it's been one of the glories of my life, because when those kids get off the boat, and even while they're on the boat, they're running around saying what the dolphins are saying to them. And they wouldn't be doing that, I know it, if somebody hadn't said to them to listen, right? Listen to the dolphins. What are they saying? I've had the most amazing things happen. Some of the ones that have just recently stood out, and I also have to say that our program's been on hold since COVID. The last Dolphins Love Kids boat trip was so incredible. It was many years in the planning. We had boatloads of people on the Big Island in Hawaii for the first time. So when the kids, jumped in the water, they got to swim with the dolphins. Of course, that doesn't happen here. I wish it could. But so it's just incredible 3 or 4 days, which was part of my retreat with swimming every day with a new group of kids from a different school and off the Big Island. And those kids, even though they live on the Big Island, don't necessarily get to swim with dolphins. And that's, of course, something I didn't realize until I talked to the teachers that, maybe it's like everybody here. Everybody thinks we go to Disneyland every day, but we don't. It's probably a lot of kids that have never been to Disneyland that live in Southern California. So anyway, my point is, it was a huge success. And some of the things the Dolphins told the kids, I mean, I've followed up, it's really changed their life. Told them not to say bad words, told them I'm going to help you with my homework. If you're not feeling well, call on us, we'll help you. Don't eat hot dogs, all kinds of stuff the Dolphins have told them. So it's pretty amazing. So hoping as the COVID thing goes away, we'll be back on board doing lots of Dolphins Love Kids trips. So if you feel to donate to our cause, we sure appreciate it. I think there's a PayPal button on the site for $49, which is the cost of a seat here, and including a little bit more for, to run our organization with our board of directors. And so we always welcome people that want to be on the board, that are people like you that are focused on dolphins and whales. We welcome people that want to volunteer in any way to help raise funds or, spread the word when we've got a date scheduled, which we will have again, hopefully soon, to spread the word, to send it to your list. And then, let people know, because we're relatively new in the world. So here's my little commercial for Dolphins Love Kids. Any comments or questions? Has anybody been with us on one of those boat trips? Sometimes I have people. There we go, Melinda. Cool. They're fun, huh? Nice. Cool. We'll be hopeful that we can get back on board with all levels of boat trips and retreats soon. Okay, let's have a new reader. Let's go to page 21, Meet Your Dolphin Guides. Who'd like to read? Laura, thank you.
Many years ago, the Pleiadians shared with me that the dolphins were not just in the water in the ocean. They told me that they could come to me in the etheric as guides and continue to assist me when I was not seeing them in the ocean. They told me that there are enough dolphin beings here on Earth now for everyone on the planet to have 3 dolphin guides. At that time, I was seeing that the same dolphins in front of my beach house in Baja, Mexico, almost every day, and really wanted to have more of that energy and fun in my life. One day I came into my room in the house I was living in part-time in Chula Vista. It was twilight, and there were 3 beautiful upright dolphins standing in my room. They were silvery and prismatic and about 8 to 10 feet tall. I stood there in awe, taking it all in, and then I freaked for a moment and jumped. They disappeared. I immediately was sad and called out to them to come back. It took some time, but the next time they appeared. But I was ready and not afraid. I began to look forward to seeing them, and then to talking with them. They showed me that they could also show themselves me in the swimming pool.
It should say to me,
Show themselves to me in the swimming pool.
Should say to.
Yes, as they move through the water, spinning and creating moving water currents. To this day, I take people out to my pool to see the etheric moving and playing dolphins. Everyone is amazed when they see them, and it is just one more way I can tell people about the dolphins and show them how to bring them into our lives.
Mm-hmm. You can keep reading.
Okay, let's meet your 3 dolphin guides. Today we enter our sacred heart space and lovingly summon our 3 dolphin guides to come to us. Attune to your inner child, visualize yourself with them now, and open to discovery and the creative passion they can assist you with. See yourself swimming and splashing with them, and know they will come to you because they love you. As you begin to interact Let them tickle your curiosity. Everyone wants more fun in their lives and more playtime. Raise your fun factor together and open a dialogue when you're ready. Who are they? What are their names? Trust the intuitive information they share with you as it comes in. It might feel like you're making it up, but move into faith and trust and know you are connecting with your dolphin guides. Ask them to help you with the Whale and Dolphin Energy Light Medicine School. Ask them to help you with your channeling abilities and with your ability to become proficient in the processes you are learning. They are wonderful aids and will be with you when you work on your clients. Fun. Take a few moments to write down what your 3 dolphin guides are sharing with you. Enjoy the experience. It can only grow and enhance your love for each other. The dolphins say, "Radiant blessings, dear one. We bring you great joy and more love. We are your dolphin guides."
Okay, so
Our interconnection.
we're gonna do a meditation now to connect with your 3 dolphin guides.
Okay.
Some of you have been doing that for years, and some of you today might be the first day, but they will come to you. And again, don't try to limit the way they show themselves to you. Often they show themselves with lots of color, different heights. Almost always for me, when they come in, they're upright, unless of course I see them in the pool and then they're swimming. Okay, so I'm not going to say much more. Get your blindfold, go into your heart, and we're just going to open to meet them. And if you've already met them, then you can start to ask them some questions that you'd like to know more information about. And again, the only word I'm getting is fun, fun, fun. Beloved dolphins, we welcome you. We love you. We're excited. And you know, we're sharing the information now with the students of the school that there are 3 spirit dolphins for every single human on the planet. So please come to those that have yet to meet you. For those that already know, your beautiful spirit dolphins, enjoy taking time today to make this personal connection to receive new information and to upgrade your vibration. So this is not a guided meditation because it's personal. So take a few minutes for you to have your own experience, but you welcome them. And remember, they're very telepathic. And then we'll come back and share in a few minutes. Enjoy. Okay, let's come back. Saying thank you to the dolphins so much for their love. Hopefully you had some fun with that and you met some new friends. Would like to share from the perspective of this being your first time connecting with spirit dolphins in this way, in a personal way. Anybody? Nobody? Okay. Oh, Joyce.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I had never met them before. The first one was a 9-foot golden female. Her name is Kalini. Then I had a white 10-foot elder named Elisha, and a blue 8-foot Kalishi.
Nice. I can feel the smile.
It was very nice.
Did you have a communication?
I didn't quite get that far.
Okay.
I just kind of figured out who they were and their names.
Okay.
So
You
I'll have to
probably look forward to
communicate more.
spending
Yeah.
more time with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Uh-huh.
You can visualize them. Anybody else? Jan,
Hi.
did you want to share?
Yeah, I just got a beautiful message from them. I didn't see them, but they told me they were here and around me, and they have been here, and they were full of joy and happiness, and it was really beautiful, just beautiful. So I'm excited to spend more time with them.
Nice. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Laura, did you want to share?
Yes. So I saw 3 dolphins in front of me, and one was the left one was a spotted one, and the center one was bottlenose one, and the right one was common dolphin, with the stripes.
Uh-huh.
And then they said, "You are doing everything you can at the moment towards your new reality, and we are so proud of you." And then they sort of came around me, like, the 3 of them, like like all around me.
Nice.
And then they said, "You can travel with us to other dimensions if you let us." And then they just like went out, I could just like fly with them.
Awesome. Sounds fun.
Yeah. So do you just sit down in the evening and connect with them and see what they have to share? Is that like?
Well, let's see. We've been friends now since I lived in Chula Vista. So this has been probably 15 years, long time. So they're just part of my life. Do they come in sometimes with a message? Almost always it's, will you come outside and swim in the pool with us? Will I make more time, or will I come to the ocean, like maybe to see the sunset and connect with them? The messages that I receive from them are supportive in me finding more time to play or creating more time to be in their presence. I know that they're wisdom keepers too, but because I'm doing the modules now, that I guess I'm getting a lot of dolphin wisdom from that, from the channeling that I do for my clients. But the cool thing about the spirit dolphins is they're for you. They're here for you. They're not here for your clients. They're not here for someone else. They're really here for you. At least that's my experience with them. So I don't think we can have too much play, right? Too much kind of a little bit of off time. And I know that they play with Puddah and Sam, my cats, because I often get the same message. If I've been working a long time or too many hours, and how you're not supposed to even sit so long, get up, and which we're going to do in a minute here and have a break, is it's better if you stand up, is that Puddah will come in and she'll go, yeah, kind of like that. And then I feel the dolphins too kind of whirling around me, which is basically, get up, let's go, let's do something, So they're supportive in me not spending too much time in one place, Anybody else have something you'd like to share that happened during the meditation or before that?
I will.
Okay.
This is Cheryl.
Okay.
Okay. The first one that showed up was a spotted dolphin, of course. And it was pretty big, girthy big.
They are big.
And, yeah. And so, okay, it was a male, and he said, "I'm the chief." Okay, so then he went over to the side, and the second one that showed up was a violet one, actually pretty purple. And he said, "I hold the violet flame for you to call on me when you need that kind of healing." Okay, and then the third one was a beautiful, silvery, sparkly, white little female, kind of little. And she said, "I hold love for you." The message that I got, well, they all did, but the message was they knew that I've been very upset about people losing their jobs, and we all know what that's all about. And I've been physically ill over it. And I wanted an understanding about that. Well, why am I so upset about it?
Right.
But they told me that hurting people hurt people. And it's going to be my job every day that I see this and I get upset to do the Ho'oponopono prayer.
Right.
Because these people need forgiveness, they need love, and they don't know how to get it because they're in a different realm. But the main thing was hurting people hurt people. So I understand that a lot of those people are hurt, and so they just need to be forgiven. And so that's what I got.
Very good.
And very much love. The source came through and just filled my room, my being, with just so much love.
Beautiful.
So that's where I went.
Well, this reset that we're having, where a lot of people have lost their jobs, of course, is very uncomfortable, I know, for many people, very uncomfortable, and not something they would have done of their own accord. But I can tell you just from personal experience, probably you can too, as I have many friends now that are deep into it, that are recreating themselves in other ways, also working from home, where their company is supporting that. And if you're to ask them, they're saying, I'm never going back to the office. I'm never going to go back to being on that freeway every morning. That in the long run, it's been the best thing for me to show me that there's another way.
Yeah.
And show me that I can continue to reinvent myself, that I'm not bound to that job that I hated,
And amen to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So blessings abide. Yeah. Sometimes change is painful because we're just so resistant to it, But the Dolphins aren't. They're all about
it's
change.
a process.
Yeah.
That was great.
Very good. Well, I'm going to encourage you to keep working with them in all ways and bring them into your client sessions as well. But it is time for a break. So let's come back at noon. That's like a 12-minute break. It's better than nothing.
Laurie, can I just ask the soundtrack for the Dolphin that we just listened to, where did it come from? That was awesome.
It's one of my favorites, and I just looked for it the other day for somebody. I don't remember who it was now. Let me share the screen real quick here, and I'll show you. In fact, I'll leave it up. I've had it so many years, but here's my music list that I use. It's not all of it, but it's most of it. And that one we just listened to is called Dolphin Songs. And I couldn't find it on Amazon or by Google, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. But anyway, you can look at that while we take our break.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sure. Okay, see you guys in a few minutes.
Yes, Jane, you can come in. Thanks. Yeah, I have 12 minutes break, so if I can munch on something for a little bit.
I made those chickpeas.
Yeah, I'll come now.
Do me cut some green onions and put them with them?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you please mute your mics?
Mhm.
You're on camera.
It's okay. It's okay, right? I'm not ashamed.
Hope so.
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back after the break. Let's come back to our manuals. The little quote at the bottom of page 22 from Albert Einstein. And then some information on being authentic. Let's have a new reader, a new speaker. Who would like to share? Read, I should say.
I can read.
Thanks, Robert.
Our interconnection. A human being is a part of the whole, called by us universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his own consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. No one person is able to achieve this completely, but the striving for such achievement is in itself a part of the liberation and a foundation for inner security. Albert Einstein.
Yeah, it's kind of deep, but it's very whale-like, you know. Yeah, the message is very, you know, expansive in the sense of how I feel the whales communicate with us. So I felt to put that in. Would you keep reading on being authentic?
Being authentic. Find the courage to speak your truth to those closest to you. This type of truth-speaking and self-revealing is, in our opinion, is critical for your successful transition through the current and ongoing period of global destabilization. I asked them what they meant by this, and they said, authentic spiritual evolution and freedom deepened upon the two pillars of speaking your truth to others and revealing yourself in ways that open internal pathways within you and outer pathways in those around you for change to occur. If you keep your light hidden from yourself and others, the world will not be liberated by your innate luminosity. At the same time, if you repress and keep your distress and negative responses to what is happening around you, hidden from yourself and others, by perpetuating self-forgetting and distraction, you will create a shadow realm that will preclude and eclipse any true spiritual light that might emanate from your being. And this was channeled from the Hathors by Tom Kenyon.
So if you don't know about Tom Kenyon, let's take a moment and just give him some credit. Tom Kenyon, in the way Puddah or Seth would describe him, is an incarnated Hathor, that he spent many years back in the day in Egypt in the Hathor temples, working with the Hathors. And let's see, does anybody not know who the Hathors are? Does anybody? Okay, so the Hathors are a benevolent, very highly evolved celestial race of beings. So much so that nobody really knows what realm they're from because they're so high. They would describe their emotional bodies as the lowest vibration they can experience is ecstasy. I've heard that said many times. They're here to support us, but because they're so high, their frequencies, when they drop into the third dimension, this is over a period of eons, to come to help us, they're immediately attacked because where they're from, there is absolutely no word for defense. There's no need for defense or protection. So they come in a very, I guess you'd say, innocent way, but yet a very profound way with their complexities and their advancement. But their ships and the way they would come to us, they look sort of like a seashell, I guess you would say, a mollusk, but they have no protection. So over time, the Arcturians have agreed to partner with them. And when they want to come to help, and mainly their help comes through toning, through sound healing, they agreed to protect them from the forces that would immediately invade them because they don't have any knowledge of grids or, I mean, again, their whole consciousness isn't about protection. To evolve beyond that. So when they do come, they've chosen people that they've worked with before to bring in their tones. And I guess their ships also emanate a tone, but it's not necessarily one that we can hear. And so Tom has written a lot of books. One of the ones I recommend is Arcturian Anthology. Another one, I think I have it right here. No, I don't, but it's a green one.
I have this one of his. It comes with the CD.
Nice. Anyway, you can go to his website, Tom Kenyon, and his wife, Judy. They have an amazing business where he is triggered to tone or to channel, I guess you would say. And he goes into his sound studio and he'll lay down a track that's the Hathors coming through him. And then another one, and then another one, and then another one. So it's a layered sound that's quite amazing, actually. And all of them are directed towards either your organs coming back online, like your physical organs, or a specific cause or a thing. I used one this last weekend called Spatial Organization. I think it was in the mastermind group, and then I used another one for journeying. So, and they're free. You have to agree. You go through some processes where you agree to use them only in certain ways. He doesn't necessarily just want everybody to have them without realizing what you've got because they're powerful. And in his physical form, I'm going to say this lightly, he can be a pretty negative guy in his physical body. He can be pretty down on earth and pretty down on, our lackadaisical attitude as humans to clean up the mess. And this kind of has all in his human body. When you hear him talk, he has kind of an extinction message, which I kind of have to walk away from. I don't necessarily align with that. I love him, but I don't necessarily want to hear that. But when he's channeling the Hathors, oh boy, howdy, he's really, really amazing. And so I want to thank him for his work. And there's just pages and pages of downloads that you can have all for free, or you can purchase CDs and books too from him. But most of his stuff is free. And he's just beyond in the sense of the Hathors coming and helping us. And so it's another level of the type of celestial response we get here on Earth. The beings are willing to come and risk everything, really, when they have evolved so far, you know, and they come and then help us. There is a Hathor temple in Egypt that was once very active. He was trained there. He was trained to do the work he's doing now. So his octave range is beyond the normal human voice, obviously. One of the ones you may want to consider putting into your library is Lament for Whales. You can find that on his site. I use that fairly often. It's absolutely beautiful. So, but listening to the Hathors again is kind of an acquired taste. You have to realize that the tones you're hearing are not of this world, and they're very, very powerful. So thank you, Tom. All right, Robert, do you want to read initiation?
Laurie?
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, it's my own. Can I just?
No, don't apologize.
Can I just share something with the group?
Yes, please.
Speaking of when the phrase "speak your truth," I just wanted to share that in 2013, when I was going through a really tough a breakup, in a dream state, 3 nights in a row, I had 3 dolphins come to me in a dream state. Every single night, it was the 3 same dolphins, but different dreams. And they were all about joy, living in peace, and speaking your truth. So from that moment on, I've been doing the best I can to live that way. And I just thought it was absolutely beautiful, the way that they came to me, and 3 nights in a row as well. So I thought that was really beautiful.
Another good example of triangulation, that they really
Yes.
wanted to get it. Yeah. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah. Okay. Back to Robert.
Okay, initiation is the result of a gradual expansion of consciousness, a process in which successive stages of unification take place. This involves relinquishing of all separative reactions in a series of progressive reunifications. Initiation is also life's greatest teacher in learning self-mastery over the human personality and its emoting attachment to sensory perception and the false systems of belief. Initiation helps us to remember our origins from the stars and that we come from another timeline of no time, of eternal light. We do not have to strive to evolve. We are already evolved. We are pure and holy by our true natures. It is to remember that we are a part of a cosmic cast of characters playing out our chosen roles in a grandiose play. Our scripts to completely eradicate a karmic timeline so that no residue of negativity remains. We are preparing for birth of a new star and its avatar race.
So this is a profound channel in my world, and this is from Seth. I would have to say this is a good example of the way Seth would normally speak. It's pretty evolved language, but if you examine it, with clarity and from the heart, you will really start to understand initiation in a new way. It's a big word, and it's used very often in my home. I'll be, working on something or doing something, and almost always every week channeling something or someone, and I'll ask a question about it. And almost always Seth will say, this is an initiation. This is part of an initiation. This connects to the other initiation that we did on such and such. So I guess what I want to say about it is read it a few times, in your life. And if you have the right client, use it with the client. All of this stuff in the manual is supplemental to be using in your session work. After we complete all of the modules and, we experience them, it's time to come back and really, add unto what you've learned from the dolphins and whales with this type of channeling. You'll find that, often you'll have 5 or 6 minutes, maybe even at the end of a session that's 90 minutes, and you can come back or ask before the session starts, what parts of my manual would be helpful? What parts of the YouTubes I have would be helpful, to supplement with that client. And you'll find that that person's in the stage of some type of initiation, that they're growing, or they're right in between stages of initiation. They've come to a platitude for a while, and they get to experience that consciousness now and play with it. And then something will happen to initiate them, and they'll be confused for a while. They're looking around, and what's that? And what do I do with that? You know, and oh, I didn't know that about myself, that kind of thing. And you'll go into another level of initiation. And I think making that conscious is so important right now in the work you're doing with the whales and dolphins, that they'll take you pretty gently, as much as they can, through stages of initiation to the next level. But I mean, I'm sure you know what I'm saying. You're already experiencing something in your life in a completely different, more powerful way than you would have like even a year ago, where that would have just passed you by. You wouldn't have thought about it. It wouldn't have had meaning to you. And now you realize that it's applicable and it's happening to you. And it's all a reflection of, you know, the DNA shifting and changing, the physical body shifting and changing, and along with that, of course, your consciousness. So I like the last part best, is where we remember we are part of a cosmic cast of characters. It's just a script. It's just a hologram here. So it's very powerful, but it is just that. So when you come back to the truth, you'll find love is the answer. Love is the only thing that's real. And of course, is always going to be the solution energy. So when your thoughts are, what is a loving answer to that? You know, your thoughts, your words, your deeds, your conversations, your emails, faxes, whatever you're still doing to communicate, have love at the base of your communication. That you've taken out any personal little snide remarks you might make, or any little judgments in there that would coerce someone to go the other way. You've taken out all of that and just been purely authentic. Then you will become that. You will become that initiatory being that's from the cosmic cast of characters, but playing your role really well in acceptance of others. So you don't want to take it too seriously. You know, Earth is just a playground, okay? And we're here to evolve. And when you remember how dearly loved you are, then you can also express that to others. Get rid of all those little triggers we have. So any comments on this? I think this is 4 very powerful paragraphs that can change your life. So, Alma Prima. You're muted. I don't know if you know.
Sorry. I just wanted to share with people, and I mean, Wendy and I were working together in our sessions, and you'd sort of given us permission to go wild, and the dolphins came in the second session and used the two of us, or used me to bring through an initiation for nice. Wendy in the homework, which was the most extraordinary energy that came through. It was so powerful. And I mean, it was a real initiation into an embodiment of being who one is. And I mean, I don't know, Wendy can maybe comment on how it's experienced from her end, but, you know, this is not a long way away from us. This is happening, and it's happening now with the way the dolphins are actually working with us.
Right.
So I just wanted to share that.
Okay, great. Wendy, are you here?
I am.
I am.
If I can
just add.
Oh, I don't know why I'm getting him. Okay. I've been getting a message for 20 years about a grandmother circle. And I wasn't a grandmother then. I wasn't really entirely sure, and that I needed to start a wise women elders circle, and thinking, I need more information than this. I have no idea what you mean. How do I do this? What do we do? And of course, the first stage was I needed to be on my own journey, wise woman journey. And so it's taken a long time, but this initiation with the dolphins was into the grandmother circle from that Amma Prima brought together. That wouldn't have happened to me alone, had to come through her and the dolphins. So it was incredible. I need to go back and sit with that many. Right. But this, when you read out about the initiation, there were so many layers of that initiation that I realized, oh my goodness, yes, it's so clear now how this is a lifetime process for me and I get to take my time.
Yeah.
I don't, it's already in place. I don't have to.
You already can see the ripples of it, which is once you've been initiated, which is now, you are to
Yeah.
initiate others. And
Yeah.
calling it the grandmother circle is awesome because, you know, it's celebrating the wisdom of what happens when you become a grandmother, you know?
Oh, yes, exactly. And we don't have to be actual birth mothers of grandchildren. That the grandmother wisdom, women are birthing businesses, they're birthing books, they're birthing artwork, they're birthing wisdom in so many ways throughout the planet. So it's very exciting, but just this paragraph alone was huge to get that feel of, oh yes, they bring us to each level of initiation.
Right.
As long as we open and we ask and we're ready to receive,
right,
the next layer comes. So this is, I mean, I today's lesson already is like,
good for you. Yeah. Yeah.
I do have a question if you have a second.
Sure.
When we had made our 3 spirit dolphins, I didn't get spirit dolphins, if I'm understanding. Maybe I don't know what spirit dolphins are, but Persuela and Mercola and Freya came.
Well, they're spirit dolphins. They just happen to be on the council.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They're spirit dolphins.
And around there were other dolphins swimming, and but each one of them, they had such entirely different energy, and I thought,
right.
oh, well, maybe we're going to meet the dolphins like we met each of the whales.
We are, and I just looked at what the agenda is. That's next week, where we'll be channeling them. I mean, you already are. I mean, you're capable of it when you bring them in for the session work we're doing, but we will be spending a considerable amount of time channeling next week.
Okay. They showed me such distinct layers, totally different aspects of dolphin wisdom and healing. That, I mean, it was
well,
so
they're specialists, just like you are. You're a specialist in different things on Earth. You know, all of us are. People come to us for different things. Our unique diversity, our DNA, our personal beliefs, and then our chosen careers, our family roles, all make us ones to come to for certain information, right? So they're no different. They're specialists in lots of things, and they don't all necessarily have the same. I mean, depending on what the healing or the DNA layer is or the vibration of the person will determine which dolphins will come into the session. Same way with the whales. And people will ask me, you'll find this too with your clients. Well, I want to work with Hatha. And Hatha might say, well, I'm not the best one for you today, you know. So I've trained my clients to say to them, they'll say, well, what are we going to, I mean, if we have a session on Thursday, 2 or 3 of them will contact me on Tuesday and, well, what lesson are we going to have or what we're going to do? And, you know, which dolphin's coming in? And I always email them back and I say, I have no idea. And it's 2 days before your session. So a lot could happen between then. Why don't we muscle test the morning of your session to find out what's best for you? And they'll go, oh, okay. But people, you know, they want to know, you want to know, you want to know. And when you're in this frequency we're talking about, it's best to let the ambassadors of joy make that decision. You know, like they'll know who should come better than me.
Oh,
right?
yes, certainly better than me.
Yeah.
It's like, boom, they just came.
Plus, it takes a lot of the responsibility of making those choices off of you and put it right back on the council. So Robert says what? Another great book channeled by Judith Moore. Here, let me open up. Yeah, but you make a really powerful point here. Judith Moore, yes, she channeled and still does the spirit of the council of the grandmothers and wrote a book about it. Judith is one of my dearest friends in the world. All of her books are phenomenal. Another one is a new formula for creation that I recommend to everyone. One of her books. And if you're into crop circles and Arcturian energy, she's written a really good book about that too. So thank you, Judith. She was the one that I worked with in July in Colorado Springs.
Thank you.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
thanks, Robert. Appreciate that.
Yeah, me too.
You're welcome.
Okay, we are on Another very important part of the teachings of Seth, in combination with the cetaceans. And it's called Life Cycles on Earth. Robert, do you want to keep reading?
That's fine. Okay, so life cycles on Earth, perception or belief versus truth. Seth explains that the Earth has experienced 4 major life cycles that are relevant to our discussion today. On the planet within the free will zone, there are people who are rigid, those that resist change and end up being faced with challenges due to their rigidity, and oftentimes difficult karma is created. They have not discovered that they are the creators of their own fears and that they alone hold the keys to the solution energy. They believe that fear is external and change is difficult. The other option that humanity experiences when they awaken to a heart-centered existence and tap into the truth of who they are is that of a becoming a being who is loving and chooses to share resources. From this paradigm, the human experiences questions like, how did we get here? What are we going to do here on Earth? And how can we create things that are sustainable for future generations? So there is a purpose now in discussing Earth myths versus universal truth. Myth number 1, the universe is a machine. In order to survive in this universe, you must compete with others for materials and resources. The world is polarized and everyone is against each other. Life is difficult and you must work hard to exist. The machine is impersonal and unloving.
Okay, let's take a pause. How many have experienced either yourself or others with that belief system? Yeah, it's out there. Okay, let's hear the truth.
The truth. The mechanics of our universe are celestial. Everything and everyone in our universe is a part of the oneness that connects us to our origins. Everything is connected, and love is the vibration of creation. We exist in this dimension to experience polarity and free will choice. Experiencing polarity offers each being an opportunity to choose love as opposed to be given it. And making this choice to be loving in thought, word, and deed, we unify the polarity within us and remember that we are inherently loving, benevolent beings. We are here to share everything, and there is no need to compete for anything. The universe is benevolent with an intelligent source behind all of creation. All of your needs and wants are given with grace when you utilize the law of attraction effectively. Vibration is the key to conscious creation, and consciousness changes physics.
Isn't that good news? Yeah, good. It's good that we live there. Okay, myth number 2.
Myth 2, genes control your biology. You are predestined to get sick and fail. There are predators and you are a victim. In this paradigm, everyone needs a rescue team as they are dissatisfied with their creations. People feel worthless and unable to fulfill their heart's desire. There is not enough energy to go around. It is necessary to have pharmaceutical drugs to assist us with our health systems and challenges. It is common to go to a doctor and expect a solution or healing. It is accepted to take drugs to soften the symptoms of your illness and your imbalances. People do not know they are the creators of their own lives. They do not know how to examine the root causes within themselves that cause their disease or emotional imbalance. They take drugs as opposed to taking responsibility for healing the actual causes for problems and health issues.
Yeah. So most of you probably can relate to being there at some point before you discovered epigenetics, right? I know that this is what I was taught as a child, that I am bound to my parents' and grandparents' DNA, whatever they, and to this day, I know for a fact you can walk into a doctor's office and they're going to ask you for your family history. They still do not know that the genes, or like that your father had heart disease or your mother had cataracts, has absolutely nothing to do with you unless you say so. unless you embrace that. If that's your belief system, then it will be so. If it's not your belief system, then you come back to recoding yourself through initiations and intention and working with the higher beings like the dolphins, and everything is different. So anyway, let's read that. Let's read the truth.
The truth. Your genes are blueprints only. You can rewrite the genetic expression of your life through your own consciousness and change your DNA by the way you live your life. You control your genetics through your life choices of food, environment, and emotional well-being. Only you determine the state of your genes. Science has labeled the phenomenal truth as epigenetics. Science is proving that your genes are a mirror for how you live your life. Science has now proven that there are 38,000 possible outcomes for each gene.
So that's just a little mirror into what I'm working with now with the dolphins. I have no idea, and the whales, how long it will take, but I know there will be a module 3, and it will take us into the physical and emotional realms of what the genes really are and the chromosomes and how everything is affected through our DNA at another level. And of course, the nice thing is science is toddling along, and there's some scientific proof to now what's going on. Some of you probably know the story behind Bruce Lipton and when he first revealed, okay, and some of you may not, but it's well worth looking at some of his videos or reading his books. He really is the leading edge right now on the planet for epigenetics and was able to scientifically prove these concepts and took them to Harvard. And at first they laughed at him. When they looked in his face, they laughed at him. And then, he went back and of course he was hired. And as the story goes now, he's a worldwide speaker with this knowledge. So yay, Bruce, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, he has a really cool show on Gaia channel now.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I don't know, wherever Bruce is, I want to go. I don't ever get tired of listening to him. And I've traveled with him too. Well, not with him physically, but to the same destinations with Cryon. And, where he was speaking like 5-6 days in a row. I never get tired of it. I just love it. I always try to peek my head in, even though I'm usually on the outside doing whale healing. But, when he's speaking, I really, I don't know, it moves me, He's so well-spoken and he's such a heart-centered speaker too. He really has found his joy in this, that this is his peace. So anyway, check it out, Also Greg Braden, but Bruce is the one that's inspired what we now call epigenetics. Okay, let's do myth number 3.
Myth number 3. Evolution is random. This perception of evolution has 2 parts. Part 1 is referring to the belief that your cells randomly mutate and the way your body reproduces itself through cell division is random, as opposed to organized. As an example, this myth implies that you can simply manifest cancer and have nothing to do with it. The manifestation of disease or imbalance is random, and you just have to take chances. Part 2 is referring to that which is known as natural selection. The belief says only the strong survive and is referred to as survival of the fittest as the current way of life.
Okay. And now the truth?
The truth. Your body is an organized and benevolent community of 30 trillion cells. They are self-organizing, self-healing, and are aware of themselves and their life force. They understand how to work together in harmony to create well-being and health. Each cell is an extension of consciousness and responds directly to the vibration of happiness, joy, harmony, and peace. Evolution is not random. The universe is organized at the subatomic level. The universe is designed to be completely sustainable and functional through cycles that evolve in consciousness and expansion. The universe and all life is designed to adapt and change, grow and expand with an ever-changing environment. A solution to every challenge is naturally programmed into the life cycle of every being. Evolution is consciousness in motion.
I love that statement. Consciousness in motion. 3 little words, but so true. Also, a Cryon quote is consciousness changes physics. right before your eyes. Yeah. Okay, one more, myth number 4.
Myth number 4, there will always be a winner and a loser. We are destined to fight for everything. The world is polarized, and there is a positive and negative side to everything. Everyone cannot win and be successful because there are not enough resources to go around. Okay, and the truth. Our evolution is based on how our species chooses to cooperate. The power of our evolution is reflected in how we create our own communities and how we live together in harmony and integrity. Our life force and well-being is directly connected to nature and the planet herself. We can heal and balance ourselves and our relationships when we make a conscious choice to connect to nature and all that is naturally provided for us. Nature and source are the same, and we are not separate from them.
Thank God. Yeah. Okay, let's open up to comments or questions about these 4 different myths and the 4 different truths that help clarify from, the higher realms that the whales and dolphins occupy. What's really going on? Anybody? Okay. It's good information though to have, and if you have a client that's, in one of these myths, because that's what they've been taught, you can certainly help them get out of it. Get the energy flowing again. Which again is all, yeah.
It's Wendy. I was
Hi,
just
Wendy.
saying that this, the pithy nuggets of wisdom in each of these myths and truths are super, a really good base for copy, for talking about what doing this work. If people are interested in knowing like what they can, why it would help them, there's some wonderful language in here to help them see themselves and as they are now, and see themselves as they really want to be, and underneath know they are, but don't know how to get there.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think these next, like the last 3 or 4 pages and the next 3 or 4 pages are some of the best work that Seth has brought through, with my editing, but, really mainly Seth teaching us, that sort of lay the foundation for that which we've been lied to, for us to come back to the truth. And it's plain as day, the way it's stated, like I said, I've been the one that told us to go to the doctor and told us that, we're bound to our parents' DNA, that our family history is sort of self-evident in our own well-being, and it's not true, it's just not true. So the sooner we can share the science of epigenetics with others and these truths, the better. Because when people hear truth, there's something that resonates. As you know, it's resonating right now in there. I don't think there's anybody that you could probably read this to that would disagree once they heard it. I mean, the truth is self-evident, is what I'm trying to say. And thank God that, whatever reason you've chosen to allow these great dolphins and whales to be a teacher for you, to help you remember. And talking about people like Bruce Lipton that are out there in the mainstream, that thank God for people like that are bringing this forth into the mainstream, so that people can make adjustments in their life that bring them back to a whole nother level of reality of living. I don't know about you, but I've known people, and still do, where their whole seems like their focus is on going to the doctor, where they believe if they could just have a new drug, or, somehow that's going to fix them, that they have to get to their doctor's appointment and they have to have money to fill all these prescriptions, and that's going to fix them. Do you know people like that? Yes, no. If we can help them with just natural energy and remind them that their body is, it's a celestial event in itself. And if you get back in alignment with allowing your body to naturally repair itself, it has to start here, though. It has to start in the thought forms that will translate into living a heart-centered life. You can't make them open their heart, but you can certainly encourage them. So there are.
Laura,
Yeah.
I had a question about how does the body elemental fit into this, making sure we're not tied to our parents' DNA?
Well,
kind of.
Well, you know from the mastermind group that I'm relatively new to understanding the body elemental in the sense, but what I can say is that the body elemental can't do anything without your permission. I mean, like I've lived a lot of years not really knowing it. I knew about the elementals in fairly recent years, and I found that just by connecting to the elementals that are in the earth, my garden grew differently. I felt better, just by acknowledging them. But the body elemental that is your own, it's a part of your higher self, is constricted really by your thought forms, by your belief system. So the more we open up, the more we say anything is possible, that there isn't anything that can't be healed. There isn't any talent that I can't bring through, that I want to bring through. I'm not saying we're all going to have everybody's talents. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you can bring something forward that you don't have right now, or something that you're afraid of. Seth has said over and over too that most of your really great inherent talents are hidden behind your fears. So if you can let go of the fear, it will be revealed. And one of them, of course, is public speaking, writing a book or sharing what you have deep within you with others seems to be a place of great fear for a lot of our society. So we can help each other let go of that. And that would relate back to the body elemental. So anybody else have a comment? That you're understanding the element of your body, we call it the body elemental, is not written about in this manual, but it's there and it's a part of your higher being. It helped basically build your body when you decided to come to Earth. It's that part of you that physically did that. Anybody?
May I share something that happened regarding what you guys been talking about? So several years ago, I was visiting my acupuncturist because I was just experiencing a lot of, I don't know how to explain, like I knew my body wasn't really feeling good with the food I was eating because many years ago I decided to go vegetarian. But as I went to visit him, he's like, are you eating any animal products like meat? And I said, no. He's like, oh, according to, your body type, you're supposed to be eating meat. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And he's like, that's why you experience this symptom and this symptom and this symptom. So I've been going to him for a while. And I told him, like, is there any other way I can deal with this without having to go back to, eating meat? I still eat animal products, but I'm not going back of eating red meat, right? So he was like, no, I don't think so. And I remember one day I was on the table and every time I'm under, like the acupuncture, like he put the needles and he just lets me take on my own. I just had that very interesting conversation with my body, with myself. I said, I just want to let you know that my personal decision is not to eat meat. It's just my choice. And I don't know what your business is going to be about this, but I request that you adjust towards, my free will, and you're going to make the right adjustments so I can actually go with my life without needing to definitely eat animal products, and my body's still going to be in balance. So that was a very strong experience. And no joke, after maybe even that same day, I had just such a peace inside of my own physical body that I went back to him like a couple of days later and I said, can you see a change in my body? Because I don't think I'm anymore that same type. He was like, yeah, you seem to have more energy and things are working good for you. Like, how do you feel? I said, I feel awesome. Like, I totally know my body actually heard me and
Nice.
it did adjustments I needed to do. And in regarding that, like for many years, like I had, I don't remember who was saying this, but it was maybe John Kehoe talking about the subconscious mind, when he was saying, when you tell your body or yourself, like I'm not really sure who said that, but one of the saying is like, my body is a self-healing mechanism. I've been living with that for the last 20 years. And every time I feel any kind of physical discomfort or cold coming over me, because I was cold, like, so my body have experienced some stress, like it just goes like that. It doesn't even come into my space because
Well, you're taking control of your own belief system, which you're saying now monitors my immune system and it monitors how I feel. You're taking a lot of your power back. And I want to say something else too, and I hope it doesn't offend anybody, but your belief system over what you eat and how you handle what you eat, as far as food and water and put into you, is not set in stone. It's interesting too today how we went into the Hathors for a little bit. If you read Tom Kenyon's books and they resonate for you, there's quite a bit of information in there where the Hathors will tell you that if you want to experience the higher realms through channeling, that you're going to need meat. You're going to need the nucleic acids that come from them. And Puddah comes in and explains quite a bit, because people think because I'm an animal communicator that I don't eat meat. And I was vegetarian for a while, actually for a couple of years, but I didn't feel well when I was. And maybe I'm ready to try again. I don't know. But basically, Puddah says you have to look at the evolution of the species and look at the planet and see who has evolved to the top of the food chain. And the top of the food chain is cats right now, the big cats, the small cats, the eagles and the condors. And we can go on and on with that, which we don't have time for, but all of them eat meat. In fact, some of them are just carnivores. And they are holding a space on the planet because of those nucleic acids that they can hold the vibration that they hold to teach us with. Okay, so now there's going to come a day through the ascension process when the carnivores will stop being carnivores and they will eat plants, or they'll just exist on pure light. So, but as far as the death of an animal or the death of a species over eating them, Puddah says, what would make you think that eating a cow or eating, let's say a chicken is different in consciousness than eating a lettuce or a carrot or a green pepper? I mean, they have consciousness too. So they are offering their body to you through, you choosing to eat vegetables. I mean, they have a life too. So she always asks people, well, why do you think the consciousness of an animal to not eat one is better than eating the plants? The plants would offer themselves to you as well. So there are plants we're to eat and plants we're not to eat. And the plants that we are to eat have come for us to nourish our bodies. That's why they're here. They're actually here in service. And there are animals that are here to eat, and that's why they've come. That's the only reason they've come, to nourish your body and to give you those nucleic acids that we're talking about. And there are animals that are not here to eat, like cats and like dolphins and whales. And they're not here for that. They have a different purpose, mostly to be teachers for us. So this is a whole nother level of consciousness that I kind of go into when I teach animal communication, and it may or may not interest you. But I just want to point that out, that the belief system will change the physics of your body. And it may or may not be something that you like. So be open to adjust it. Okay, just be open to that. Right now, because I'm channeling so much of the time, and I've been able to talk to people like Lee Carroll. Of course, he's my friend that channels Cryon. He has to eat a lot of meat in order to channel at that level. And he understands the importance of it, and he blesses the animals that he eats. So he knows that at some point that will go away. At some point we're not going to eat anything except light. We're evolving toward that. But in the meantime, while we're here, whatever you put into your body needs to become a part of you. It needs to be loved and supported, and because it creates an imprint, in your body. So I just wanted to say that. And between the messages of Puddah and the messages of the Hathors, it might give you a feeling of grace now around what you're eating, and you don't have the shame and blame that goes with it. But it's a personal choice, and I really think it's important when someone says, this is my choice and it's working for me, to honor that and not try to coerce them to do it a different way. And if they ask you why you eat the way you eat, then maybe you'll have a better explanation why you're making the choices you're making. And again, we can respect each other, right? So.
Great, thank you so much for sharing this, because this has been a conversation I've been having with so many people, because I grew up in a society when meat eating was a big thing. And all of a sudden I come up saying this, and I was like, I just want you to understand, I'm not saying what's the right or wrong. I just want to discern of what feels good to me as me, of what are the choices and what are the experience I want to go through. And it didn't happen overnight. It took me years, until I changed and went. But until that day, people, even sometimes I can see that contrast of people trying to say what's right or what's wrong. To be honest, I totally agree with you. And I believe we're moving towards that understanding that everybody should be honoring what they feel, first of all, is right to them, in sense of feeling. and what their body wants. Because I'll be honest with you, like I've been trying to be vegetarian, but if my body tells me I want to eat meat, I'm not gonna retain of not eating meat, and I'll do exactly what you said.
Just
you know,
bless it.
honor and bless and just be thankful for giving me your body, because I still eat fish. I love fish. I love seafood.
Yeah.
And like my way of saying thank you, you know, for nurturing, but I made a different choice. The reason why I give this as an example, but it's a great example, was how your body, no matter what your conditions are, or no matter what your physiology was needing at that time, you can always talk to yourself or your body and make
And you
those-
should. You should. You shouldn't let someone else define this part of your life. You know, like you said, your body will call out for green beans, or it'll call out, you know, for something. And, you know, you really should honor that. Go get some green beans, or, you know,
I thank you
have some
for
lemonade if it wants lemonade.
Yeah, I thank you for those things, because even when we had them in Bimini, they really resonated with me, because they brought that awareness to the consciousness that it's, first of all, like an awareness. Second of all, it's a personal choice, and having that discussion of saying there is no right or wrong.
There isn't.
Your personal choice, your personal evolution, whatever experience you want to go through. And I'm grateful for those conversations, because that's maybe something we all wonder, because we've been told green beans are good for you, let's say, because we gave them as an example. But some people bodies don't digest green beans.
Exactly. Right.
So,
I'm just saying there's an overall presence, though, of the top of the food chain on our planet. They have a lot to share, and they're almost all carnivores. Whales and dolphins are carnivores. They eat fish, you know, so pay attention to that, and then pay attention to your body, and then go from there. I think I've shared this with you before, but I'm going to share. I mean, there's profound days I've had, you know, you too, where something comes in and it's so strong, it's so powerful, it stays with you. And one of those days was I was in my house in Baja. Maybe I've already shared this. And I was, I think I'd just taken a shower. I was in the bathroom, in the mirror, you know, combing her hair, whatever. And I came out, and Puddah was sitting there. This was a previous Puddah, not this Puddah. And she said, this is exactly what she said. You think you're doing pretty well, don't you? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing great, you know. Yeah, she said, you're rising in consciousness, and you're talking to people about God, and you're talking to animals, and you think you're doing pretty well, don't you? And I went, I do. And she said, okay, so let's go to another place. She said, you and I, we think we're pretty high, but you know what? If you really want to look at who's high in the evolution, the realm of evolution, she said, look to those that have come to be food. The beings that have come here to be food. She said, tell me directly now, are you ready to be food? And I went, no. She said, neither am I. So that let's look to those that are, because that is high. When you can take your whole consciousness as an evolved being, lower it down into the third dimension on planet Earth, and offer your body for others to eat, that's high. So when you're ready to be food, you let me know. We'll talk about it. Is that a great teaching?
You know, when Robin was reading about the myths, and one of the things that occurred to me is that my dad finally got it right before he died. He was the longest lived male in his lineage, and he expected to die like 25 years earlier than he actually died, because he believed that myth that he was destined to not live past his early 60s. And instead he lived to 85. And he joked at the end, he's like, if I had any idea I would have lived this long, I would have taken better care of myself. But it's because he had believed that the DNA ruled, and it didn't. So, you know, that was just really one example of the myth really, you know, we don't have to buy into it.
Right. Really good, guys.
And we actually had that conversation with you, Dana, the other day in our session. Like, you don't need to believe your actual age is your actual age. And if you give the permission to yourselves to do what they're best know how to do, you can live a very long life. So
yeah,
that was the message of the dolphins. That's what they said.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, we're going to go on. Let's have a new reader. Would like to volunteer to start with the 4 stages to know God through human evolution. I'd like to read. Come on. Karen, are you volunteering?
Yes, I can volunteer.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. 4 stages to know God through human evolution. You are separate from source. There is no God. You are separate from everyone and you are alone. Atheism is an example. There is only one life and you randomly arrived as a human. There is no afterlife. This is it.
You guys know anybody in that place? That's their belief system? Okay. Okay.
Number
Let's look
2,
at, yeah.
God in a box. There is a God or creator. That being or consciousness is to be worshiped. God is all powerful and you are not. You must bow down and pray and worship as a humble, meek, and unworthy small being, asking for intention, intervention, and help with manifestation.
How many know that?
Oh, yeah.
How many been there? How many were raised in that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just checking. Let's do number 3.
3, you are a co-creator with God. You discover your divine power and worthiness and partner with God and the universal law of attraction. You communicate with God, creator spirit, and view your life as a partnership with the divine.
Okay, so how many live there now? That's where you're at. That's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm co-creating with God, with the earth. Yeah. Okay. Number 4.
Number 4. You become a self-realized piece of God. You know you are God and the creator is a part of you. You activate your natural gifts and use them in accordance with love. Examples: ascension, bilocation, spontaneous healing, and morphing your form.
So how many can live there? Anybody living there yet? Okay, so I'm not able to live there yet, but I'm able to touch that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been a part of many miracles, but I can't yet do 24/7, 24 hours a day and being God. I still come back to co-creating with God. But I'm working towards it. I look forward to the day when I can actually be God all day long, every day, and not feel like that's odd, or, you know, I'm putting myself above anyone else, or, you know, that it's an ego-driven thing, that it's an actual reality. So, but I live with someone that's there every day, so that's kind of cool. All right. So this quote here is important. In fact, it came up a couple times this week for me. Everything that does not rise into consciousness comes back as destiny. Can you see that reflected in the political system in our world today? I'm speaking of the United States. Everything that does not rise into consciousness comes back as destiny, and it gets played out on the battlefield because it didn't rise, enough into its own. So, very powerful statement. Okay, Karen, do you want to keep reading?
Sure.
Okay.
The shamanic way, cure versus heal. The dolphins and whales have the largest brains on the planet and are the most ancient beings on Earth. The dolphins tell us that they have been here for about 30 million years. The whales tell us they have been here over 300 million years. About 200,000 years ago, which equals 8 cycles of 26,000 years, a decision was made in the higher realms and dimensions to genetically reseed the humans on Earth. The people that existed at that time were living in a linear time frame in 3D with no real way to evolve back into 5D. During the fall in consciousness on the planet, the human DNA had been stripped to just 2 active strands. The people were in a very dense environment using what is known as the reptile brain to function. They were immersed in duality with the vibration of fight or flight. It was a violent time for humanity, and Prime Creator chose to intervene. Following the starseed intervention, the indigenous people of our planet and the ones that subsequently chose to incarnate entered into a time frame when the human brain was given the capacity to develop differently. For the sake of conversation, we will call this new brain and potential the mammalian brain. The frontal lobe was given the capacity to develop. The third eye or pineal gland was activated in a way that it could grow and connect directly to the heart, which in turn could then connect to the right side of the brain. the indigenous people began to evolve again and started recording Earth's history in a different way. People became philosophers and wisdom keepers. They began to understand that the Earth herself is alive and that we are all connected to nature as we are to that which we call source. Humanity developed universal ethics into their teachings and parenting and embraced the concept of infinity. Humanity now had the potential to move beyond the mind into a true spirit connection. The ability to step outside of linear space and time and speak to spirit for God was developed. The native tribes began to develop what we now refer to as shamanism. They developed a true spirit connection with the unseen spirit world and with their ancestors who had passed on. They developed their ability to heal themselves and others through these connections. The rituals and rites in many tribes were passed on through the generations to create what we now call the creation of the Homo luminous light body. The indigenous have known and used these methods for thousands of years, and our Western world has moved away from these truths. Today, we remind you that we have always had the power to heal ourselves and evolve in our wisdom when we stay connected to the earth herself. The shaman knows that the keys to the human life are within the earth first, and then with the elements of the earth and the animal kingdom. The shaman knows that the animals are the greater body of healers and teachers in form, and stay connected to their vibration and teachings. Only when we are truly grounded in this teaching and practice can we enter the higher realms and continue to grow spiritually. We bring this message to you today as each of you are innately shamans that are emerging into the fullness of these memories and ways. During our time together, we are going to explore the ancient sacred technologies of the human shaman. Our focus will be on our own DNA and how we can assist others in their development as well.
Beautiful. So do you want to read this next section?
Sure.
Okay.
We now explore cure versus heal. The animal teacher and the human shaman explain that the word cure implies that you treat the symptoms of the malady, hoping to eliminate them. Cure is associated with our Western medicine practices and use of pharmaceutical drugs. On the opposite end of the spectrum, the word healing means that we recognize that we have disconnected ourselves from the earth. We have used the power of our emotional body, which is the creative source of manifestation, to move ourselves out of harmony and alignment with our own divine spirit. When true healing is requested, there must be a sense of responsibility for your own emotions and the desire to use forgiveness and atonement to realign yourself with your divine blueprint.
Just going to pause here for a moment. That last statement, I think, really could be quoted from the dolphin community. When true healing is requested, there must be a sense of responsibility. And as we move further into the teachings of the dolphins and the protocols, you're going to discover that they align with this, that the emotion and the desire to use forgiveness and atonement will realign the DNA. Okay, it absolutely will. And they'll guide you into that. So I just wanted to point that out. That was very dolphin-like.
Great. The body naturally corrects itself when it is in connection to nature. It naturally aligns and heals. When nature is taken from the equation, the body will fall into misalignment and disease and pain can enter. The symptoms are your body calling you to attention, but the body is always asking for a true spirit connection to be made, so true healing can occur. So one question to each of you is, are you a caretaker of the earth? Do you use the organizing principles of the earth to connect yourself to your sacredness? I speak of the 4 directions and the elements. Do you use the power of your connection to nature and to the earth to connect to that which we call heaven or your soul? The eternal part of you, which is your soul, is very interested in what the human form is doing. When they can align, the magic of human life can really begin. In order to create heaven on earth, we must first honor the earth and your part here on this planet, being your temporary home. Master Cat Puddah always says the soul is navigating your life. Think of your body as a really nice car. Don't you want to keep the car looking nice and in perfect working order when the soul wants to go for a drive or take a trip? If your immortal and eternal magnificent soul cannot connect to its human form in an effective way, the role you came here to play becomes ineffective. So we are about to explore a myriad of ways to calibrate our DNA and work with our homo luminous light body. Today we fall back in love with ourselves as we honor our human selves as vehicles of light. We are the caretakers of this garden we call Gaia. And today we activate and welcome our inner shaman and the processes we have been given to connect heaven to earth.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Any comments on this last section? It's on shamanism. Do you guys think of yourself as a shaman? Anybody? If you don't, it's something you might, good, Wendy, something you might explore. And maybe take a little bit more time, but you know, the shamanic work, the work we're doing is very shamanic with dolphins and whales, and it's beyond even what some shamans would say is the work. Because it hasn't really been done worldwide yet. I don't know why people didn't communicate with dolphins and whales earlier on and write about it. Maybe it wasn't time yet. I don't really know. I've often wondered about the timeline of it. But either way, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful for that I was chosen and that I stepped up and that I'm doing this work. So I want you to feel that, feel the gratitude that they have for you to be their voice and to work with them because they have so much to share. So, okay, we're going to take a lunch break. Let's come back in an hour. Somebody asked me about the Andars. I have a few left, not very many, but I can show them to you. Actually, I can show them right now before anybody's interested, but I am expecting another big order with more elders and lots of colors. So go ahead and take off and enjoy your lunch break if you like. And want to see these? I'll do that right now. They're the ones that I currently have. Some pink ones. This lighter color is Elysium. It's a soft turquoise. I have one kind of greeny, lime green one. One tiny red one. One tiny one. And one tiny gold one. Get my fingers there.
I really like that one, Laurie. I'm Laura.
The gold one?
I like the gold one, and yeah, the gold one, that one you're holding.
Okay. And it's Laura?
And also, yes, it's Laura, and I think maybe it's hard to see. I like a pink one and maybe also one of the red ones.
Okay. This little red one is probably not even going to weigh maybe 2 or 3 grams. I'll weigh it in a minute.
Okay, and the other one, is that red or orange?
Or what are you referring to now? I pulled the red one out.
Yeah, the red one. Oh, okay. Oh, those are both red.
There's just a little chip
and
here.
then the pink ones?
This is just a little chip, so I'll throw it in. No cost. Whoever buys the little red one.
Okay.
And the pink ones I have 3. Try to get them in the front row here. One sort of medium-sized one and a couple of larger ones. And behind are Elysium, and these are seafoam. They're elders.
Yes, I have one seafoam. So I'd like some. Yeah, I was thinking of I'd like a pink one, and I also like the green ones. But so maybe one of those nice big pink ones. How much do they weigh?
And we'll weigh them. I'm going to weigh it. I just wanted you to see it. This is the largest, I think, of the three. Okay. It is 42 grams. And if someone has a calculator, times 360. The colored ones are sold.
It's
360 per gram.
151.2.
There's the second one. I'll weigh that. 36 grams.
129.6.
I love Melinda here as the CPA. She's helping. And the smaller one. Got a lot of nice striations in there. Yep. This one is 16 grams.
Did you say 16?
Yeah, 16.
Okay, that'll be 57.6.
Okay, and our green one. Pretty, huh?
Yeah. Is it a little bit pink as well? Or no, I think it's your hand. It's, yeah.
This one is 46 grams.
165.6. Do you want to go ahead and weigh the gold one for her?
Is this Laura? Oh, Laura.
So
Are we-
far, yes. Yeah, this is
talking to Laura. Okay.
Yeah.
The gold one is 7 grams.
So that'll be $25.20.
And could you try and weigh one of the turquoise ones?
Sure. Oh, turquoise. I have 3 left. I have this one. Which is 13 grams.
$46.80.
And I have this one.
I like that one.
You do. Getting a nice hug from it. Okay, that one. 14 grams.
That one's $50.40.
And then I have a small one. And that one is 6 grams.
$21.60.
Okay. Anybody want to see anything else, or we're good?
I'd
This
like to
is-
see something.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
this is Sarah. I'm interested as well.
Okay, so I have
Laura, Laura, did you make a decision on any of the ones that you just had weighed? Because
I would like the gold one, but you didn't weigh the red one.
no, that's the only one she hasn't weighed yet, and then that gets the free orange chip with it.
Yeah, I'd like the gold one. I'd like the blue one. I said I liked.
Yeah, that's the 14-gram Elysium.
Yes,
Okay.
and then so the gold and the red and the blue
This little
one.
red one is 4 grams.
Okay, so that'll be $14.40. So you want the gold, the red one, the 14-gram Elysium, and were you going to pick a pink? There were 3 pinks.
Yes. So
there was a 42-gram pink, a 36-gram, and then the 16-gram.
Yes, I think I'm gonna go with the one that was 129.6.
That's the middle one. That's the 36-gram pink one.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let me just I'm talking to Laura. Laura, what's
Yeah.
your last name?
Greco element. Well, on PayPal, it still shows up as Tamaris. I haven't changed it.
Okay, can you spell it? In the way you would want me to ship it? The way you would want me to ship it to you?
Okay. Laura and then G, I think it's called G in English. Like Greco, Greco.
Okay, and is that the name you're using with the school?
Well, it is the name I always use. It's just that PayPal still has my old name.
What is that?
Tamaris, Tamaris.
CA like in cat?
No, TA as in Toronto.
T like in Tom?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. T.
Tamaris.
Okay, that helps
and
me
then
know
it's
who you are.
and
so.
then it's element in the end. ELLEMANN.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you want the gold one that's 7 grams?
Yes.
Okay. And you want the red one that's 4 grams?
Yes.
Okay. And one of the pink ones?
The
Yes,
36,
the middle.
the 36 gram one, Laurie. So the middle size, yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Was there anything else?
You wanted the 14 gram Elysium.
Yes, the blue one, the turquoise one.
14 gram Elysium. So that's 4 crystals, correct?
It was like a, isn't it like a, it was more like a diamond point shape. Can you see it again?
Uh-huh.
That's the one,
Yeah.
Laura. That's the one you
Okay.
like. The one that gave
Okay.
Lori a hug.
Okay, great.
Okay, that's 4 crystals plus the little red chip I'm just going to give you.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Not for me, thank you.
Okay, and where do you live?
I live in Denmark.
Okay, so we're going to add $20 for postage, knowing hopefully that will cover it. And if not, then, you know, when Nancy goes to the post office, she works for me, we'll find out what the shipping is. Okay.
Okay.
So ask you to pay tonight if you want it to go out tomorrow. If you want it, tomorrow is a shipping day, and then other than that, it'll probably be 2 weeks before we ship again. So that would be paying through PayPal. And
Yes.
for anybody listening, you go to paypal.com,
Mm-hmm.
you click on send money, and you can use any debit or credit card or a PayPal account to pay. I will send you
I've done it before.
Okay, good. And you use Laurie Reyon at Gmail as the link.
Yes.
And I'll add in, I'll send you the total through an email during the lunch break, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
With your $20 shipping, it should be a total of 239.6. Laurie will verify that, of course.
239.6.
0.6.
Okay,
60
yeah,
cents.
I will verify it, but okay. Anybody else?
Karen,
Anything that's left here, I can show the tray.
I'd like to see some of the 2 pink ones again.
Karen, the big one, which is 42 grams, that's going to be $151.20.
Okay,
And the smallest one is 57.
okay.
I need to stop talking so Laurie can talk.
No, that's good. I'm glad you're helping me with the records here.
Okay. Let me see. I really like the large one. The one in your left hand. Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. And let me
All
get-
right. 42, yeah, 42 grams, and it's 151.2.
And then I'd also like to look at that small turquoise, the 6 gram.
Okay, and who am I talking to?
Aaron Wilkins.
Sorry?
Aaron Wilkins.
Aaron.
Yes.
How come I don't know an Aaron?
Karen
Karen.
with K.
Karen. Okay, I was gonna say, I didn't think we had an Aaron. And Karen, what's your last name?
Wilkins.
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 And where do you live?
I live in Georgia.
Okay. Okay, I'm putting aside this one for you, Karen.
Yes.
And you wanted to see the smaller Elysium, which is 6 grams.
Yes.
Okay.
And can I see one of your elders or?
Yes, I just need a minute to tag this, okay?
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. And Karen, are you good with that?
Yes.
Okay. I'll do the same thing. I'll send you an email. And if you pay before like noon tomorrow, then it will ship tomorrow, okay?
I just
Probably, no, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna say 10 because she comes at 10 and then she
Okay.
takes off.
No worries. I'm the one that says I wanted to see one of your elders though.
Okay. And I'm just grabbing a little bag here because it's getting crazy. Make sure that the right crystals get to the right person. Okay, to see the elders now.
Yeah. Okay. What is go to the back? Yeah, right there. That's the one. Let me see that one. Okay, just a minute, baby. Okay. All right, I like that one.
Okay, and I'm sorry if I've already asked you this. Who am I talking to?
Karen, you're still talking to Karen.
To Karen, okay. So Karen, you're the one that got the pink one and the Elysium one, right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Making sure. It's 11 grams.
$33.
Okay, I'll take those 3.
That puts your total at 205.8 before shipping.
Okay, thank you.
You got it.
How much is it, Melinda, the 11 grams?
It's $33.
Okay.
So her total before shipping is going to be $205.80.
Okay. And we're going to go with $7 for shipping and handling to Georgia.
Okay, great. Thank you, Laurie.
You're welcome. So you have a pink one.
Did you say 7? Was that 7? Okay.
Yeah, $7. And so we have a pink one, an Elysium, and
An elder.
now a seafoam.
Okay.
And then Sarah, are you still there? Because I think you wanted to look at something.
Yeah, Tina's here too, and I wanted to look at an elder.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, Tina, I got you both down.
Okay.
You know what? I'm coming back to just for a minute here. Oh, to my list. Laura, you have the gold one, right? The 7 grams.
Yes, she does. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were still here, Laura.
That's okay.
Put that in your bag. Okay. All right. All right. Onward. Here we go. Yeah. These are all.
So of the elders, are they all just the seafoam?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
You know, this one though, you know what? I think this is a nice. Yeah, you know what?
It's out of the picture.
It's
I
clear.
think, yeah, there's no, yeah.
Yeah, if it's a nice, I'd like to look at it. Oh, wait, but if somebody else is already looking at it, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
can you weigh that, please?
Yeah, I don't think this is,
Sure.
see that? It was kind of blended in with them, but it doesn't have, you know, the sea foam
Yeah.
energy. Yeah, I'll wait. It's 22 grams.
Okay, I would like that one, please. This is Sarah Andrews.
How much was the weight, please, Laurie?
22 grams.
22? Okay. Sarah, that'll be $79.20.
And Sarah, where do you live?
Monterey, California.
Okay.
And then there was also a little red or brown chip left on the other tray.
I do have a little brown one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could I get that one?
Sure. Let me wait.
Is that an elder, Laurie?
Yeah, it's 7 grams.
Okay,
It's
so
a tiny root beer.
$21 for the root beer.
And then on the colored tray, what were the remaining colors, please?
We have the green one. We have one more Elysium and one more pink. Can you see them?
Yeah. And, can you weigh the pink one again? I think it was already weighed.
It is. It's 42 grams and it's $151.20.
No, that one's gone.
No, the middle pink was gone. That Laura wanted the 36 gram pink.
I think that pink was the smallest one. Are you weighing it again, Laurie?
Each of the people that just purchased have a pink one in their bag. And so this is the smallest one.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Karen bought the big one, the 42 gram, and Laura bought the 36 gram. So what should be left is a 16 gram pink. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I'd like that one as well.
Okay, so I'm talking to Sarah Andrews,
Yeah,
right?
Sarah
And
Andrews.
You've got the root beer at 7 grams. You've got the ice at
22
grams, which is 79.20.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got now the pink one at 16 grams.
And that's 57.60.
And could you also add in one of your rose oil essences, please? Okay.
Sure.
And that'll be it for me. Thank you very much.
Okay, Sarah. I'll send you an email with the total.
Perfect. Thank you so
And
much.
you're going to want to get me your shipping address back right away. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Tina, can I see an elder, the elders, please?
Yeah. Let me just get these in a bag here. I'll learn not to get confused. I always think I'll remember them. Like, yeah, no, I need to put an actual tag of their name in the bag.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
This is green.
Okay.
And the others are, oh wait, here's an Elysium. The others are elders.
Yeah, I think the one that, well, it's on, I guess it's on your left side. It's an elder on your left side towards the back, towards you. The next one over. Yeah, that one.
Okay. Pretty.
Yeah. Okay, good. Let's see what that one weighs. That's good.
22 grams.
That'll be $66.
Okay, perfect. And that's all I want, just one.
Okay.
So you get shipment.
So who am I talking to?
Tina Wettengale.
Where do you live?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
22 grams.
$66.
Foam. Okay, and so shipping will be like $5.
Okay.
So 71.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Did you get the information on PayPal?
Yeah, I've been on PayPal, on your PayPal, so I'll get on there. and send
And
it
be sure to send your shipping address.
by email. Okay.
Yeah, or in the PayPal thing, just so I have it after class.
Oh, I can put it on a note in PayPal.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the rose oil, right?
No, that was Sarah.
That was Sarah. Sorry, let me draw a line here. Okay, just the crystal. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, last call here.
That's it for me. Thank you.
Anybody before lunch here? Anybody? Okay.
Laurie, I'll just send you an email with my Excel grid so you can double check what I have. And how much is the rose oil?
Rose oil is best ordered on the website because it's already in inventory. And I think it's $18.
Okay.
Just go to the products page and order it.
I was just putting in a price in her total for you.
Oh, okay, got it. Hey, what happened with your last order? Did you get any of my emails?
Did you get my check? I think it was like 146.80 or something like that. I can always do PayPal. I found out I can do it.
Well, if you've sent a check, I believe you. It's just
yeah. Well, I also sent you the check for the February mastermind.
Okay.
So you could have that in advance too. So
okay.
Cool. Because I'm not in any rush. It can be in the 2-week shipping. Not a big deal.
Okay. All right, you guys gonna go take some lunch here.
Yeah.